The rot is in the wood. You have to level the house. It is over.
You won this round, Dean, but the war isn't over.
Hello.
Hello, Dean. You're a stupid head.
Homer, is that you?
Just keep it out.
Vanda Pharmaceuticals power play for Carolina, and they score! Final seconds tick off the 3-0 win for Carolina. 66th win for Pyotr Kochetkov of his career.
You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
Horvat loads it up, couldn't shoot. Schaefer will scores! Power play goal, Matthew Schaefer.
Are you not entertained?
Backhand, glove down by Schaefer to the net for Lee. He scores!
Easy to win here when you guys are behind us.
All right, Matthew. Well, they just credited you with the game-tying goal. Congratulations on the win and being first star. We'll see you soon.
Thank you. Woohoo!
Everybody, we're going one.
You complete me.
Well, I did notice that it should have said, do you have Shae-FEVER instead of do you got Shae-FEVER? But that's kind of irrelevant at the moment. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Big Apple Hockey. And it's been a hell of a week. Once again, last night, me and the New York Rangers, we tied in goal scoring. That's amazing. I can't believe it. I, of course, am your host, Mark Williams. Delighted to be back with you guys once again. But joined by the man who was at the game, the host of the Final Buzzer, Mr. John Filkowski.
Can't get it done at home.
Yeah.
I got nothing else. Sorry. I got nothing else.
All right. And, of course, the voice of reason hockey news, Anthony LaRocco.
I mean, what else could you say at this point about Matthew Schaefer? He's just doing it all for the Islanders.
You know what? What can you say more about him? We're going to say more about him in about 2 seconds. But first, everybody, make sure you're smashing that subscribe button and the like button. Hit that hard right now. I just realized I made the wrong hand gesture as well. That was not exactly a good thing. But let's get to the A block, guys. Yeah, I just realized I'm like doing it the wrong way. Anyway, brought to you by SeatGeek. Use the promo code Big Apple Hockey. $20 off your first order. And, of course, Big Apple Hockey trucker hats and shirts are available. Click the link tree below. But let's start with the positive that's going on over in Elmont right now. Last week, the New York Islanders, 2-1-1. Yeah, the Carolina game kind of obscures their goal total for the week, but they dominated the Washington Capitals in Washington. And Matthew Schaefer, a 2-goal game, #1 star. Anthony, do you got Shae-FEVER?
I mean, I think all of the Islander fan base does. This kid he's brought a breath of fresh air to the Islanders and kind of just changed the aura around their team. He's when he has the puck and he starts skating up the ice, the crowd definitely gets on the edge of their seats, and he's making plays on that game tying goal against Columbus. I mean, the composure to kind of, keep the puck in and then just get off a quick shot where he kind of like went down to a knee when he did it. It's just that composure of a kid that was just 10 days shy of being eligible for the 2026 draft is just insane. And then, last night against Boston, he picked up an assist. But Mark, I sent you all 3 clips because he had like 3 or 4 of them where he literally just took the puck up the ice, skated past Bruins defenders and cut hard to the net and tried to just do it all himself. Unfortunately, for the Islanders, all 3 times Swayman was there to make a big stop. But the way he's just skating through people and blowing past defensemen and forwards and getting to the net is just it just shows his confidence. Like one of those clips I sent you, Mark, and it was at the very end of the 3rd period. He just tried to end the game right there. He just took the puck and he cut to the net. He went hard and, he went airborne. Like he literally just tried to take over the game and end it. And, so he's playing with a lot of confidence. He doesn't look unmatched. So as impressive he is in the offensive zone, his offensive skill set, he's not matched in his defensive zone. His transitions are great, and he's, like I said, he's reignited the Islanders, and you got Bo Horvat's really going, and Barzell's going. So, like I said last week, they're fun to watch. Obviously, they still need to clean up their defensive game, but Matthew Schaefer is leading the charge, and at this point, Ivan Demidov, don't get me wrong, he's great. He's off to a good start, but you just gotta look at it this way. I mean, Schaefer's doing this as an 18-year-old defenseman, like a newly 18-year-old. So for me, not to discount Demidov, anybody else, the fact that he's doing what he's doing as a defenseman at his age, I think the Calder is going to be his, barring some unforeseen events. But Matthew Schaefer has definitely made Islander fans optimistic and very excited. So he's a must watch every night.
Yeah, and it's hard to believe that this kid was, newly minted 18.
Both.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anthony. Oh, sorry. Anthony's already got it. Filk, what are your thoughts right now? Do you have Shae-FEVER?
I mean, it's hard not to like this kid the way he plays. He has all the confidence in the world. He's just an exuberant young kid that is extremely skilled. His skating is phenomenal. His hands are actually better than I thought they would be. I remember when I did my scouting report on him, I said one of the things that might hold him back at this level offensively a little bit would be his hands and his shot. He looks like he's worked on them in the offseason. Not that he ever had bad hands, but he never had the hands that like a Makar or a Dahlin or someone like that, or a Hedman had as a prospect. Like, guys that they were making moves and absolutely dangling through people. Schaefer was more known for a guy like, and from a lot of what I watched, was a guy that would beat you with his cuts, his lateral movement, his skating, his speed, his ability to just blow past you, like Anthony was just talking about before in last night's game. But the hands have definitely improved. The shot, I still think there's room for improvement there. But I want to go back to a comment that was in the chat before, because I do agree with this state of survival. I think that he's not even fully physically developed. Yeah. The fact of the matter is that this is an 18-year-old kid that missed a lot of time in junior last year. And that probably would have helped his physical development a little bit, not a whole lot, because there's not a whole lot of time to really hit the gym and do those things while you're in the middle of the season. That's what the off seasons are really for. But when I look at someone who is a phenomenal skater that, had to really kind of develop into his body, the first guy that I think of is Nathan MacKinnon. And Nathan MacKinnon, when he came up, he was small. He was pushed around a lot. And, he decided that he needed to bulk up and really kind of add some muscle to be able to survive at this level. Not just survive, but to get better. And then those next couple of seasons after his Calder winning year in 2014, he kind of floundered a bit. And then he came back in 2017, 2018, and you finally saw that the not only the muscle was there, but the speed had finally caught up to that muscle. And he filled into his body and figured out how to balance the speed and the skating. Like, I know I'm going to sound really nerdy here, but I don't give a shit. But it's kind of like when Trunks tried to fight Cell, and he went to that Super Saiyan, that evolved form of Super Saiyan 2, borderline Super Saiyan 3, where he buffed out and he lost all of his speed. Yeah, that happened with MacKinnon. I don't know if that's going to happen with Schaefer. I just think that him, by nature, being 6'2", 6'3", having longer legs, that I think this works to his advantage. As long as he doesn't overdo the muscle, I just think that his strides are just so very, like, they're compound and compact. Like, I think that if he just lengthens his stride, he's going to become an even more effortless skater, and it's going to make him even harder to play against. Do I think he needs work in his own end? Yeah, I do. But I mean, as somebody who plays the position and watches and loves to like pick apart, I mean, you've obviously seen me pick apart Carson Soucy and all those other guys on the Rangers. Braden Schneider last night going for laps. I don't know what the hell he was doing. Got walked twice. But as someone who likes to sit there and like judge defense and analyze defenders, I like what I see. I just think that there's a tremendous player here. I think anyone that likes hockey and just has an appreciation for the game itself, if you want to look at it with an unbiased and objective lens, just even as like an outsider, you got to like this kid. And not only that, but he's got the personality to boot. He really does. Like, his demeanor is just great. The exuberance is awesome. It kind of reminds me of Ovechkin in his very early days. And the game needs more personality like this. Like, you have Connor McCardboard, who like literally has the personality of a brick. And although I love him, I think he's an amazing player. He's one of the best I've ever seen. But guy has zero personality. Like the first time you saw some life within that guy was the clip where he's cursing his head off in the Stanley Cup Finals. Like, it took 10 years for that to come out. Like, so honestly, you want more of this kid. I think he's great. I think he's going the right way. What happened with him and Zadorov last night, I mean, that's kind of like his Sidney Crosby, Darian Hatcher moment. Welcome to the NHL, kid. Here's your teeth in a lunchbox on a plate, whatever, at that point. But good to see the Islanders, especially Anthony Duclair of all people, rush in and go after a much bigger Nikita Zadorov. After that, that's unity. Where is that in New York right now with the Rangers? Where is
they're united and not scoring.
Yeah, when they're not scoring, I mean, maybe they'll muck it up a little bit, but
synergy.
You just don't see that fight. And that's something good to see if you're an Islanders fan. You want to see that fight. You want to see that bond and that sticking up for each other and going after a guy like that. So yeah, I mean, I gotta say, I'm extremely jealous. I would love to have this kid on our team, on the Rangers.
Well, we do get to cover him, and we do get to say it to Anthony how lucky he is all the time. So that's one thing we're looking forward to, and not looking forward to as watching him over the next few years as both a fan of an opposing team and people that get to cover him. He's amazing. His attitude, his post-game press conferences, talking to the fans, talking to the press, and then you see him in the Iron Man video that we showed at the very beginning, talking to his teammates. Hey, let's keep it going, guys. And then Anthony, I mean, those plays you sent me, they were all incredible. The one in overtime where he's handling it, and you're just like, he's looking for a play. He's looking for a play. He's going to give it up. And then he took it to the net, and you're just like, he's got that moxie that you expected like other guys to have before him. Like, to be honest with you, I'm a little bit jealous because I wish Alexei Lafreniere would be able to rediscover that. But instead, you got Matthew Schaefer, and the great thing about him is his humility on top of all of this. He's going to be working on everything that you mentioned, Filk, for years to come. The greats always do. And he's just going to keep working and keep getting better. He's been the turnaround for the Islanders, but Anthony, there's been a lot of other positives that you could say for the Islanders as of late, right?
I mean, yeah, I mentioned Bo Horvat. Bo Horvat is having a phenomenal season so far. We talked about
more about him later, by the way.
We talked on last week's show about the Bar Talk question of Palmieri, Lee, Duran with getting possibly all reaching 50 points just because they're producing. That's still going. Palmieri's picked up another point last night. Barzell's going. The third line, which has been the best line last couple of weeks with how hard they work and also getting results, which is the Holmstrom, Pajot, Lee line. So their top nine right now is really going. And you have a guy like Cal Ritchie who stepped in and made his debut last week and impressed Wah so much with just his 200-foot game that he moved Barzell off the second line center and put him on the top line. And now Cal Ritchie's centering Palmieri and Drouin. So they got all three lines going right now. I mean, even their fourth line last night, Duclair scored a goal, chipped in, so that was good to see. So yeah, there's certainly a lot of good things going on right now. Most importantly, Sorokin in that game against Columbus looked like the Sorokin of old. He was very good. And then last night he played really well too. A couple of fluke bounces. One goal was off Lee's skate and right in the net, and other two were just piss poor defensive coverage. So that D zone coverage is still an issue. But yes, aside from Schaefer, like I said, they're an exciting team to watch right now. So and which is good for a change, because under Trotz, Spittin' Chicklets guys always chirped them and said they were boring, and that those days aren't there anymore. They're a fun team to watch. So like I said, this is kind of like a house money season. Whatever happens, happens. And right now, the Eastern Conference is so just packed with everybody close together. I mean, hell, you have the Florida Panthers in last place with 13 points, but yet, 2 points, and they're probably in the top 3 in the Atlantic or close to it. So everything is just so close right now. So the Islanders just need to try to pick up points, and wherever the chips lie at the end of the season, so be it. But for right now, definitely having fun watching them play.
I want to pose this question to you, Anthony, actually, because I like this. James actually, I think he typed it out before too.
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
Yeah.
Do you think they're doing enough, or do you think that? I mean, you know my thoughts on
yes.
it. I'll let you go, and then I'll say what I think.
So when we kind of say this, I mean, I don't know if this is like we perceive that maybe Wah's job's on the line. I mean, I have no idea how Darsh feels, so it's tough to say if that's even on the table. But I mean, right now, yeah, with the way they're playing, I can't see Wah losing his job. I mean, especially if they make the playoffs. But even if they don't make the playoffs, if they're an exciting team like this and see an increase in the amount of points they had this year to last year, I mean, that might be enough for Darsh to say I'm satisfied. I'm not going to make a coaching change. But yeah, as of this moment right now, I mean, yeah, I would say Patrick Waugh isn't going anywhere. But there's still so much time left in the season. A lot of things could develop, so it's tough to say. But to Waugh's credit, he is having them play a much more upbeat style hockey. As I keep mentioning, they're fun to watch. Their defense still needs a lot of work, but how much of that is on him or Bob Bugner, who runs the defense? So I don't know, but yeah, right now I would say Wah isn't going anywhere. Will that change? I mean, that's the big question mark.
Yeah.
Well, again, it would depend on what they're going to be doing the rest of the season. That's one thing to mention with that. And again, it's how they play. It's one story to be dull wins. Exciting. Doug Wade had an exciting team. Look what happened with him.
Yeah.
Phil, your last word on this.
Yeah, I think if anything, you look at this team and the way that they're playing, and it's hard not to feel like they're going in the right direction. I eventually think that Wah kind of like, I don't even want to say Buck Showalter because he hasn't gotten it. No team has gone to a championship after him. Oh, actually, the Avalanche did, but they did 5 years later. So it's not like Showalter. The Yankees they lost in '95 with Showalter and then won the next year in '96, or Baltimore, how they became a very successful team right after he left, or the Texas Rangers or so on like that. But I feel like Wah, I feel like the Islanders will eventually be successful with another and better head coach than him. I'm not super high on him. Not that I think he's terrible. I just don't think he's the right fit. And I don't think he has the ability to get them to win. I see by the time that they're a real competitor, like a true, cup threat, I think he'll be well gone. That's just me. So.
Yeah. Then, and I gotta say, I just don't know if he's really the guy to coach NHLers, and whether that's fair or foul, he still has time to change everybody's minds on that. I just don't see it, and we'll find out soon enough. whether or not he's going to be the guy that's there. If not, the Islanders, there's a lot of good coaches that are out there right now. There's a lot of good coaches that are unemployed or even assistants that are ready to come up. So, I mean, Pete DeBoer is out there. You get Pete DeBoer, you know you're going to have a team that's probably going to make the conference finals. I mean, they might choke because of some bad decisions in the conference finals, but that's another one.
He's a Buck Showalter.
Those are, yeah, he's really the Buck Showalter type. Although then again, the only guy that really succeeded after him was Bruce Cassidy in Vegas. But let's move on to the other New York team because they just cannot win at home. Last week, guys, the New York Rangers, they won 3 games on the rest of that road trip. Vancouver.
Mark, muted.
The latter 2 were OT wins. Sorry, I hit my mic cable for a second. And then they come home, all that positivity after 3 straight wins, shut out again by the Carolina Hurricanes. And again, the disparity, 6-1-1 on the road and 0-5-1 at home. That is just, that's inexcusable and just baffling. The last time they won a game at home was April 17th. That would be Sam Rosen's final game and the day that Artemi Panarin's news leaked out. But you look at the next 4 games that they have at home versus the Islanders, versus the Predators, versus the Red Wings, versus the Blues. Phil, I'm going to direct this one to you. Will the Rangers win at home before Thanksgiving? The fact that I'm asking this question after I asked what's going to happen first, are they going to win at home or the Jets are going to win at home or the Jets going to win at all? And then the Jets answered that question. I mean, are they going to win at home before Thanksgiving?
If they can't beat Nashville, then that's a problem. But the better question for me is, how is there anyone that covers this team or follows this team or that is a fan of this team that doesn't believe that this is not a lottery team? Like, how do you not believe that this team is not a lottery team? You have essentially put the load of scoring on 3 players right now because Vincent Trocheck is injured, and Mika Zibanejad, Artemi Panarin, and JT Miller. JT Miller is going out there doing the things that every Canuck fan warned Ranger fans about, taking dumb penalties, running his mouth off, and then not backing it up, despite wearing that big giant C in his chest. Biggest C in Sudbury, right, bud? Biggest C in Sudbury. But, you know, you're getting shut out by a backup goalie that was missing 3 of its top 4 defensemen. Slavin, Gostisbehere, Keandre Miller, all out last night. Their top pairing was Alexander Nikishin and Sean Walker. And you let Sean Walker, who is a good defenseman, not a great one, but you let him dominate you. Absolutely dominate you. It's pathetic. The first 5 minutes of the game were decent. And then after that, it was all Hurricanes. They started taking over after the 5-minute mark. The penalty was at about the 12-minute mark. And I watched the SMY clip from Vince Mercogliano and Michelle Margot last night. And Vince was absolutely right. All of that goodwill that was built up from those 3 road games went right out the window. And you could just tell the frustration in the locker room, the body language on the ice. You could just tell it all went away. So at this point, I don't know where the offense comes from. To go back to State of Survival's comment before that I said that we would talk about, he said that Will Cooley was supposed to be a top 6 forward. Or no, he said, well, I thought Cooley was going to break out this season. Yeah, so did the New York Rangers. So did that entire organization. So did this fan base. So, yeah. Walker is good, but I'm not buying that he's hit another gear or anything like that. He's a good defenseman. I'm not trying to say that he's not good or anything like that. So please let me be clear. But that you cannot let that type of guy dominate you with little to no help behind him. When you have Legault and Nystrom in your lineup, I mean, this is Chris Drury's new nickname is Big City Kevin Adams right now. Yep. That's literally what he's done to this team. But this is the other guy you needed to count on, and his efforts have been atrocious. I don't want to hear about his expected goals. I don't care about that. When you don't have the pedigree to finish at this level, that metric is hopeful, not predictive. So anyone expecting Alexis Lafreniere to just break out based upon an expected goals metric, I wouldn't suggest you hold your breath. This guy has not shown the pedigree to finish at this level to that clip. And if the argument is, oh, well, he'll at least be a league average, he'll be like a 10% shooter. Okay, 3.3 is piss poor. That's obviously not going to stay. But like 17%, like in his first 2 years, he's not getting anywhere near that number again. And if you want to talk about volume and usage and so on, okay, sure. But again, end results matter more. End results matter. So for all your criticisms about raw goal totals and yada, 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 they matter more than your metrics. The 2015 LA Kings were the analytics darlings. What happened to them? They missed the playoffs. So for anyone who wants to say, oh, well, you had to go back 10 years to find an example. Good for you. Name me the last team that won a game 0-0. And if you think that's possible, if you think this team is capable of winning those 1-0 games every night, like they were the 1997 or 1998 Buffalo Sabres, I got something to tell you. You need to come back to reality because Shesterkin is not Dominik Hasek. And while Igor has been good and he's not the problem, there's no way that he continues that type of play all year behind this team with the lack of goal scoring that they are working with. There is no 40-goal Miroslav Chatan coming to save this team. There is no Donald Audette or Derek Plant having some magical year that helps them out. There is no Maxim Afinogenov coming through the pipeline to help them out. There's nothing here. And Lafreniere has been brutal. He's been brutal. I mean, I honestly don't think he's on next year's opening night roster. I don't.
He does have a modified no trade clause, an 18 no trade list.
Yeah, he has an 18 no trade list. That's it. He'll be gone. Yep, and exactly it. He had one magical postseason, got paid and regressed. So, yeah, I just think that this is a lottery team. I don't understand how they can't win a game at home, how they can't score at home. I mean, defensive structure, fine. Great, you want to talk about that too. True. They do play a more structured game, but they can't convert. Excuse me. They can't convert. This team is not built to win. This team, they have a good coach that's implemented a good structure. And I know I was watching Warner Cup of Hockey this morning, and Colby doesn't like the word system. So, Colby, I won't use the word system if Johnny's watching, but structure. You want to talk about structure? They have good structure. There's a good game plan in place. The way that Sullivan wants them to play is right, but they don't have the horses to operate this machine. They just don't. No. Panarin's not a fit. Zibanejad is not a fit. JT Miller looks slow. Like, you need more Brett Berards. You need more players with talent that can skate, that want to play hard. You got to balance the skill and the grit and the speed, and they just don't have it here. This is a lottery team. Start selling pieces off. I know Panarin's got his no movement clause, but start looking at deals to move him possibly and start talking to him, because you know what this team is. And if this, I'm going to go back to your quote from Rounders. If you get to a table within the first 30 minutes, you can't figure out who the sucker is, you're the sucker. This team is the sucker if they can't figure out that they are headed for the draft lottery.
Well, we're going to talk more about whether or not the Rangers should rebuild in a little bit. But Anthony, your thoughts on the way that this team keeps looking. And first off, before you answer anything, let me stop and say, Anthony, you were right. I was wrong. You were smart. I am dumb. This is about Alexei Lafreniere. He is a bust. I'm now conceding he's a bust.
This is a team that you kind of look at them, and they had some brutal losses to San Jose and Calgary, and then they beat some team. And look, going to the Pacific Northwest and out west, it is tough to win on the road, and they had some good showings. Vancouver, I mean, they're kind of like a Met team. Seattle, even though they're off to a good start, kind of a Met team, and the Oilers obviously are a good team. They're just going through it right now. So with that said, though, it's still good winning those games, but the deeper problem is the problem that's anyone can see that's plagued them for the last couple of years. And they come back home against a good team like Carolina, and what happens? They look lifeless, and once again they get shut out. Correct me if I'm wrong, but outside of that game against the Sharks where they scored 5 goals, other than that, they've only scored 1 other goal at home. Correct.
Yeah.
That's inexcusable. And this is a team, as Phil had said, where's the goal scoring coming from? And I just while Phil was laying out good points, I just kind of quickly looked up the ESPN site and clicked on some of the players because they show what they're projected for. JT Miller on pace for 47 points. Lafreniere 35, Cooley 35, Panarin 41, Zibanejad 35. And granted, some of these things will change, and I'm sure some of these players will get maybe hot for a little bit, but those numbers are not encouraging. They aren't good, especially for the money they're getting paid. Like Zibanejad to be on pace for 35 points so far this season, inexcusable. Panarin, I mean, Miller, Laf, I mean, they're not getting
right here.
Yeah, he's true. She's right. He's absolutely right. But the point is they're not generating enough offensively. They're not scoring goals, and the effort is what concerns me the most. There've been comments on here about Lafreniere. I mean, he just looks awful. And then you have Panarin. I mean, Panarin has 7 points. I think four of those came in one game. Yeah, he's been terrible. And the fact that a guy like Elliot Friedman even said, like, I know he threw out the thing there to kind of protect him by saying, I'm not saying he's not trying, but even the fact that he said that, I mean, read the tea leaves. It's obvious that the guy has mailed it in because I don't know, he's hurt feelings because they're not caving to his contract demands, but they absolutely need to need to move on from this group. And I think it starts with him. And I know he's got that no movement clause, that pesky no movement clause that might end up being a problem. But Panarin's got to go. He has to go. If you don't want to be here, then waive it and they'll find somewhere to move him. I know Friedman's been talking about the Ducks because of Joel Quenneville, and that's the coach he had when he came into the league. He has his friends Kreider and Trouba and Vetrano on that team. So maybe. But, then you look at, does Anaheim, a team that's a young team that's playing really well, they want to give up assets to get a guy who, is going to be 35. I don't know. But the point is, Panarin, I think they need to move on from him. And I also think it's really important to move on from Lafreniere because I think Panarin has totally rubbed off on him. A lot of similarities, no effort, lackadaisical. And, when you have your players, your star players that turn out that kind of effort, it's first off, it's inexcusable, and then it could possibly go further down into the locker room with other players. And it's like it's funny because I'll use just the Islanders as an example. Like Horvat, Barzell. Surely they're not the best players in the league, and they don't maybe produce enough points as a guy like Panarin does in the past. But the difference is they always try. They always put in the effort. You didn't say to look to him like, oh, he's totally dogging it right now. These guys are, and that's a huge problem in the room, and it's a huge problem for the Rangers. And I think until they make these changes, they're just going to be in the middle. And I hope for your guys' sake, Phil said they're a lottery team, and I hope for you guys they are, because they could use another top pick like that. But my feeling is with these guys there, they're going to be not bad enough to be in the lottery, but not good enough to be in the playoffs and stuck in that middle. And that middle ground is the worst place a franchise can be, because you don't win, you don't get a game changer in the draft, and then you're just kind of spinning your wheels. So they should just, wave the white flag, realize that this window's closed, not do anything to double down, and just kind of try to retool and change the makeup of your team, because I don't see anything changing at this rate. And yes, Mark, as they always say, you look at the standings right now, everything's so close. I mean, you could win one game and you go from last to, almost the top of your division. But with that said, despite that, the writing is on the wall for this team. It really is.
Yeah, the writings are definitely on the wall for this team. And the funny part about this team is that you can look at them and not blame two people. While I blame the Shesterkin contract, I hate it. Shesterkin's played well this year. I'm actually not even going to blame Adam Fox and Vlad Gavrikov. I think both of them have played at least well enough. And the other guy I'm not blaming in this in any way, Mike Sullivan. Mike Sullivan is coaching them up. They play hard. They do everything that if this team had these 5-on-5 numbers 2 years ago when they won the President's Trophy, they run away with the Stanley Cup. That being said, the team that's on the ice right now isn't good enough. They can't finish. They can't elevate the puck. You're talking about that they lost to Kochekov last night and Arthur Shelovs. And, who's the worst starting goalie everybody says in hockey? I think his name rhymes with Ewart Skinner. And he got shut up. They got shut up by him in October. Oh, yeah. They beat Edmonton last week. Yeah, because they also had October Evan Bouchard, who gives about as many pucks away to the other team that lead to goals as the ones that he helps put in the other net. So it's just, let's not get too excited about the Rangers here. All the problems that we've outlined.
This has got to stop too.
First off, again, the worst part about Connor Sheary is I look at him and go, he's played well on the eye test. I mean, he shouldn't be on the ice in any way, but I can't
even say that he has not played well for me. Like I don't see it. I see a player that's clearly a step behind the play every time he's out there.
I'm just saying, compared to the rest of the team, I don't understand why he's on power play too. You went a couple years ago looking at this team going, they got two good power play units, maybe not a second power play defenseman. They'd have to figure that one out. Oh, dear God, don't take the first unit off the ice with this team. Yeah, I mean, JJ Frankie, JJ. I love that name. But this team can't execute. They can't execute. And when you have what the coach is trying to implement and you can't execute, Steve Alcat said in between the first and second period last night, if the Rangers play the same first period as they do, if they put 2 more periods of that, they're going to win this game running away. Well, here's the thing. They did, except for that third period. That third period was total dreck. They went over 20 minutes without a shot on goal. 20. No.
Yeah.
Just
pathetic.
Just they need to harvest everything and salt the earth and rebuild. We will talk about whether or not they're going to be doing that in a minute. However, you're telling me that Vincent Trocheck's going to come back? Everybody's going to get slotted. They're all going to get better on this. If you're thinking Vincent Trocheck's going to come back, that's not. Then you got another thing coming. Lastly, let me just say this. Sorry, wait. Let me just say this about.
I actually like this idea. I made a tweet before earlier today that it was a Johnny Lazarus quote tweet that I was responding to. And it was just basically 6 things that you could do to fix this power play. 1, they need to stop being stationary. 2, the cross-seam passes, they got to stop forcing those. 3, you need to better utilize not only the one-timer, but the bumper spot. 4, the zone entries have been horrendous, and no one enters the zone with any type of speed to back the D off the blue line. Why is Noah Laba not on one of those power play units then? He's your best skater. He's your absolute best. He's a guy that can probably he can probably gather enough speed to at least back them off of a line. Panarin's not doing it. Zibanejad's not doing it. Miller's not doing it. 5, personnel outlook, and the outlook, I mean the way it operates, need a drastic overhaul. And 6, stop having JT Miller try to be Chris Kreider's replacement because it's never going to work.
No. And furthermore, let me just go with the guy that we've been talking about a lot in this first segment. And Alexei Lafreniere needs to sit down with a guy. Let me just think about this for a minute. We're saying Lafreniere loafs at times. He's inconsistent. He's a first-round draft pick. And he showed promise, but then kind of fades into obscurity. Who does that sound like that's currently on the New York Rangers right now? Could be a guy that's wearing a C right now, because it's amazing because he left the New York Rangers, went to Tampa, and then got traded again, and then kind of figured it out after that. Maybe we could skip those 2 steps and have JT sit down and go, "Oh, kid, you're really messing it up here." Because Laf, you got paid. Good for you. Sit there and count the money. Now you could get every single fan booing you every minute you touch the puck. Congratulations. And again, I am not in favor of the way the Rangers handled this kid and his development, but now he's developed. It's over. That plant ain't growing anymore. I mean, he's closer to being the Audrey 2, where it's going to end up eating the world. If anybody watched Little Shop of Horrors, it's just the Rangers need to just scrap every plan from the Gorton regime and most of the Drury regime. And the last thing they need to do is tell Chris Drury to go scratch. You need a new plan. Give us a new plan. Mike Sullivan can coach a team. He can't do it with Chris Drury's players. Big City Kevin Adams, yeah. And you know what? I believe, if I'm correct, the number, we still have under 60 games played for Chris Drury draft picks. That's not good. That's not. He's been a GM of this team now for 4 years. This is now the 5th season he's a GM. No, move on. Move on, salt the earth, and just don't look back. Because, I mean, right now, if Chris Drury is lucky, and I do mean the word lucky, he ends up leaving the last 2 years of Lou Lamoriello legacy. If he's lucky, I wouldn't trust him to make any decisions. And every Islander fan should be sitting there and going, "Hey, Lou, thanks for Cal Ritchie. Thanks for starting the rebuild." And then you hand it over to Matthew Darsh, who's done a great job since then. There's a lot of positivity. There's nothing but negativity coming from the Garden. I mean, the last time the Rangers won a game at the Garden, the Mets were a first-place team. That's it. That's all I have to say about that. The Mets were a first-place team. All right, guys, we're going to move on, and we're actually going to continue this part of the conversation in our NHL Bar Talk.
Shot. This is the easiest I've ever to answer.
I'm going to say beer. I can't even begin to describe.
I'm actually going to go crazy. I'm going to buy everybody around on this one. And welcome back to Big Apple Hockey's Bar Talk, where we're gauging our confidence. Oh, wait, sorry. What'd you say?
He said you went back to the original video.
Yeah, no. I'm still amending the new video. Still doing the new one. Okay. But getting that ready for us.
I mean, we have to have what hack put this in there.
I have to have that. I love the comment back of, well, I am that hack that did that. So It kind of just fits right there. Well, welcome back, everybody, to Big Apple Hockey's Bar Talk, where we're gauging our confidence on these NHL topics based on our choice of drink. You're so confident you're buying around so soft beer. Or, oh, God, I need a shot. So, and we were going to feel that way in a minute because we're going to kind of continue a little bit what we were saying in the first. Elliot Freeman on the New York Rangers. There is no rebuild coming. I changed around the language on this one from what we had in the pregame. Phil, I'll start with you. The Rangers are going to enter a rebuild.
Are shot.
Yes,
should,
not should.
Round.
Not should. Are.
It's shot. Shot. It's Dolan. That's not going to happen with Dolan. Like this is a layup. Absolute get the hoop status. Like if Evan was here right now, he'd probably hang the Blake Griffin jersey on your face if he was here right now. So yeah, that's an absolute layup. I mean,
I hit that
again. Just because of that one word, "are," it's a shot. If it was a should, then yeah, it would also be a layup, but it would be the other way, and it would be around. But ownership just will not let this happen. We saw the last time they tried to do a rebuild, the backboard is broken.
Wow.
And the Shackness broke the backboard. Oh my God. Yeah, I don't understand how they cannot just it's sad because Dolan just doesn't get it. Needs to stay the hell away from hockey. Like anytime that he's near this team, something bad always happens. And he got too involved, and now that they'll never be able to rebuild because the owner is a complete dipshit. He just doesn't understand hockey at all. My money is not coming in. I can't rebuild. I can't sit through this. Well, we can't sit through your bullshit. You need to go away. So just like Jerry Jones in Dallas, this team will probably prosper once those two guys are as far away from this team as possible. It's like the CM Punk line that he said about Vince McMahon.
All right, Anthony, are the New York Rangers going to enter a rebuild?
No, it's a shot. Like Phil said, should they? Yes, round. But are they? No.
Yes.
It's not going to happen. And also, how can you? You have Igor's contract that literally just kicked in this year. Like, where do you how you realistically rebuild with that contract on your books?
If this team is bad enough to the point where they're getting like the first overall pick, at some point that guy's probably going to want to get the hell out of there.
I mean, that would be the hope, right? But yeah, I know this is a shot. Dolan won't allow it. He'll instruct Jury to I don't know, somehow make a couple of moves that are just going to shuffle the deck chairs around the Titanic, bring in a veteran with a big name only for it not to move the needle. I don't see it happening, although they absolutely should.
Let me just say right now, this is a layup on, no matter how you phrase this is a layup. Should enter a rebuild? Layup. Are they going to enter a rebuild? Layup. Look, the only thing you can hope is that they're bad enough. But Anthony, again, we've talked about this and you hit the nail on the head. It's going to be shuffling around the chairs on Titanic. What they should be doing is taking a page from the New York Jets, who at least acknowledge, and then that's the New York Jets. With NFL fans paying NFL prices, the Jets went around and went, we can't do this. Let's move on. And the Jets are scrapping everything. The Jets just had an outstanding trade deadline. Outstanding. The Rangers should only be so lucky. And considering that they're coming up on arguably the deepest draft in a long time in the NHL history, they really should start stocking up on draft picks. I understand when people are saying, oh, they're only 2 points out of the playoffs, whatever, or 1 point. That's not going to be sustainable. You can't score at home. At best, they're the 2011 Rangers. At best. So, no, moving on. Restock the cupboard however you can. One guy that is playing well, and by the way, he's got more goals or as many goals on home ice. No, I think he's got more on home ice as the New York Rangers. Okay. Bo Horvat, 9 goals in 13 games this season. He's on pace for 0.69 goals per game, which that would be his best pace for goal scoring ever. Anthony, Bo Horvat will have his best goal scoring season.
So I was quickly looking. His best goal scoring season was actually 23-24. He had 33 goals. When they traded him when they got him from Vancouver, he had 30. No, sorry, I lied. He had 38 that year, but that was split between 2 teams. I think right now what he's doing isn't going to be sustainable. Like, for instance, if you look at his projected stats, 57 goals, 95 points, clearly that ain't happening. Do I think he could best what he did 2 years ago, 33? Like, so I'll say Beer, because I do think he can land around 35 goals, maybe a hair more. But if you're asking me, is he gonna, what he's producing right now, like a 50 goal pace, that's not going to happen. But I do think Bo Horvat is going to have a pretty good year for the Islanders to the tune of around 35 goals or so. So I'll say a solid Beer here.
Phil?
I'm gonna go round, actually. I mean, you look at it. So
I don't know if he's.
No, I hear him. Yeah.
Yeah, Mark, your stuff is on.
I froze. Sorry, guys. I'm having Wi-Fi troubles on my end.
Yeah, Mark's having So he's got 9 goals already in 13 games. So in order to match that, in order to match his 2023 totals of 38, he only needs 29 more goals over the next 50 3 games? No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. 59 games. Sorry. 59 games. Math is not mathing. Math is also not my best subject in school. Sorry. But I mean, 29 goals in 59 games for me is not completely impossible. I could see him maybe scoring 40. I'm actually going to go around. I just think that he seems like he's finally in like the right place with the right players. The only thing that really concerns me here, 20% shooting percentage right now. That's going to cool off quite a bit. His career is 13.5 counting this season. But he's had other seasons where he's been above 6. He's been at 16, and then in 2023 it was 16.6. He was shooting 21% before the trade, almost 22% before the trade to the Islanders. And then he only shot 8.1%, which actually lowered it down. I do think he's capable of shooting 14 to 15%. Like all right, let's just broaden it a little bit. 13 to 15%, I think, is more than capable. So if that's the case, you could definitely see him as a 35 to 40 goal scorer, and I think it is possible that he hits 40 this year. So I'm gonna go round. I'll go bold, and I'll say round.
I'm going round too. I think he's gonna maybe even get to 40. He's playing so well right now for the Islanders, and he's got the support finally. His line and him, they're playing great. Schaefer's doing a great job just quarterbacking the power play for the back end. He had that hat trick to start. I mean, he's just I've been a big fan of that for a while. And now let's see if he can keep this going. I do think his shooting percentage is a little bit high and might come down to earth, but he ain't going to go all the way down to 8% like Phil outlined in his first season with the Islanders. He's going to keep it up, and I do think he's going to be that good. Let's move on to another team that's playing well in the Metropolitan Division, Philadelphia Flyers. If you guys watched that game at all, they went up 3-0 on the Montreal Canadiens. Yep. The Canadiens roared back to make it 4-3, and then they would tie the game, win a shootout. So the Flyers right now, they're sitting in a playoff spot in the Metropolitan Division. Filk, the Flyers will be a wild card team.
The Flyers are wild card 2. I'm gonna say shot. I don't trust the defense, and I like the Zegras edition. I mean, he's playing on a line right now with Owen Tippett. Mitch, I thought him and Michkov are really going to do a lot together, but I mean, their first line right now has been, I think it's him, Tippett, and I'm actually looking at. I was Christian Dvorak's playing their first line center. I don't know how much production you're going to get out of Christian Dvorak going forward. Sean Couturier is playing with Michkov and Brink. And then Travis Konecny's been on their third line with Grebenkin and Noah Cates. But I just don't like the makeup of this Flyers team right now. Like, I mean, they have some decent players, but they're 6 on D. York and Sanheim, Sealer and Drysdale, Emil Andre, and Noah Juleson. Like, does that really scare anyone? I'm sorry. Yeah, you just missed me, my usual rants about the Rangers. That's really it.
Who's that one?
No, but yeah, I think I might have missed Colby giving you a bunch of shit this morning. I logged on a little late to get into the chats with you. So, but yeah, I don't see them as a wild card team. I don't think they have enough. I think they'll fight for a spot. I think they ultimately come short. I don't trust the goaltending either. Like, it's not. They're in the right direction. Let's just say that. But they're not there yet. Like, give them a couple years. Give them a little more, depth. And I really do think that they'll eventually get there. But I can't get behind a team that has Christian Dvorak. Yeah. This. If the Flyers are a wild card team, the Rangers are a cup contender. I agree with that. Like, you're not. I don't. Yeah. I can't see you winning anything with Christian Dvorak as your first line center. When has that guy been anything more than a decent middle six guy? When?
I guess it answers that, Anthony. Are the Flyers a wild card team?
This is an easy shot right now. I mean, they're on the right trajectory, and again, I know the standings right now are so close. You could jump up pretty far with a win. So, but at the end of the day, I don't really like the way their defense is built. Dan Vladar in goal. I mean, he's playing okay right now, but I mean, small sample size. Samuel Ersson, the other goalie. I mean, he's hurt right now, but even when he's healthy, he's just kind of So I don't like their goaltending. I don't like their defense. So I don't think this is going to be the year you'll see the Flyers in a playoff spot. I do think they'll be a bubble team. They might hang around for a little bit, but no, ultimately I don't think they get the job done. They'll miss the playoffs.
Mark's frozen. Yet. The thing I'll say for this one, you guys know one of my big stats is games played by goaltenders. Dan Vladar's career high for games played is 30 games. That's not enough. He needs to be up in the 40s, if not the 50s, if not higher than that, and be an actual starting goalie. Because I don't know about Sam Ersson over in Philadelphia, and goaltending has been their Achilles heel. You can argue for most of that franchise's history, but no, it's not gonna be something that's gonna propel them in there. It's actually gonna be their hindrance, even more so than that defense core that Phil outlined. That's just not very good.
It's frozen again.
Yeah, he's frozen again. Yeah, sorry. When we talked about the technical issues before we hopped on, this is part of what we were referring to. The other part of it was my computer as well was giving me problems. So, but Mark's Wi-Fi has just been not good all day today. So we apologize about that.
Yeah, I'm sure he's
there for a second.
I'm sure he's trying to back out, come back in.
Yeah, he's probably trying to back out right now. I'm going to take over.
Okay,
here.
I'm back again. And now I lost everyone else.
No, I'm here.
We're here.
Okay, well, yeah, but I lost Pilk. There we go. All right. So let's go with the team that everybody might be a little bit more positive on. Let's debate about that right now. Buffalo Sabres, 5-1-4 in their last 10 games. I just shortened it down to this. Anthony, we need to be more positive on the Sabres.
Mark, this is a shot. I mean, what do you're masked? So 5-1-4. I mean, that's really, let's face it, it's really 5-5, right?
Mm-hmm.
you really look at it. So, no, we shouldn't be more positive on the Sabres because, this is a team that, or I would say over the last couple of years, they didn't really start this year. They started off bad, lost the first 3 games, but in some years they were in a playoff spot in, October, early November, and it looks like they're going to maybe turn the corner, and then they just take a nosedive down the standings. So we should be positive because they're 500, the last 10 games. No, for me, this is a shot. They got good players, as we know, Tage Thompson, Alex Tuck. You have Jack Quinn's a good young player, Darlene, but no, this team isn't going to make the playoffs. I don't think they'll come anywhere close. So yeah, good on them that they're not abysmal, I guess, if you want me to say, but no, this is a shot.
Phil, what do you think? Is this like a different year for the Sabres?
Shot. Again, you know what? It's not that they're like. I can't buy into this team. I can't. I don't think they look any better. I know the record says that they're a little better, but Zach Benson has 8 points in 8 games, no goals. Josh Doan, is he going to continue to score at a pace that resembles something close to like 50, 60 points? I don't think so. Rasmus Dahlin, that 9 points in 13 games is not exactly a mirage. Like, he can do that. He's had a 70-point season. Alex Tuck will probably cool off at some point. But, I mean, they have some decent young players, but it just seems like their goaltending is really not that good. I don't trust Alex Lyon. Excuse me. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. Nothing special. I mean, and then they had Colton Ellis play for a little bit, played a game. I mean, really, it's not a good team. It's just not. And I wonder when, like, the fall off starts. Like, when does that start? So, I mean, their games, like, recently, I mean, they lost to Colorado, so then they beat Ottawa 8-4, and then they beat the depleted Panthers team, which everybody was surprised about. They beat a Detroit team, funny enough, that's actually playing well. They beat Toronto. Then they lose to Toronto. They lose to Columbus. They lose to a struggling Boston team. They lose to a struggling Capitals team in a shootout. Excuse me. And then they lose to the Mammoth. So, I mean, not that there's anything wrong with losing to that Mammoth team, but I don't trust them. I don't like their schedule coming up. St. Louis, Carolina, Utah again, Colorado again, Detroit again, Edmonton again. Then the real Calgary to really end the next set of games. But I don't trust this team. No shot.
And no, we got a lot of shots that we're handing out right now, guys, and hopefully everybody's not drunk enough at the moment, or it's just no. They're the Sabres. You're gonna have to show me some sustained success. And right now, you rely on Alex Lyon, who is another guy that hasn't had a lot of games played in his career. So I really just no. No, I'm gonna have to say it's got to be shot, and I wouldn't exactly be on the hype train for the Sabres just yet. Okay, moving on. A big contract was signed during the week, guys, and bit of an eye opener for all of us. But Marty Necas extended by Colorado to an 8-year, $92 million deal. Anthony, Colorado spent money wisely on Necas over Mikko Rantanen. And I say this because this was the contract that was supposedly offered to Mikko Rantanen.
I mean, I think all things equal, you'd rather have Mikko Rantanen, but I mean, considering that they lost a guy like Rantanen, but was still able to get a player like Martin Necas, that's not bad. Usually in cases like that, you lose a guy like Rantanen, you don't replace him with anybody nearly to that level. So, I'll say Beer. I mean, because Necas is working out very well in Colorado. He's having success. Granted, I would rather Mikko Rantanen for sure, but in hindsight, they didn't end up not doing so bad considering what could have happened. So, yeah, I mean, you probably want Rantanen, but it's working out with Necas in Colorado.
Phil, Colorado spent the money wisely on Marty Necas over Mikko Rantanen.
Shot. The only reason why I can't say Beer is because you're directly comparing the two players. If the question was worded in the sense that did Colorado do well to get Marty Necas, or the Colorado was making the best of a bad situation with Marty Necas over Mikko Rantanen, then yeah, I'm going around on that. I mean, it's a layup at that point. But no, this is a shot for me. Mikko Rantanen's the better player. I don't care what the stats say. Mikko Rantanen's a guy you win with. That's a guy that can really take over a game. Marty Necas is not. Marty Necas is a good fit next to Nathan MacKinnon, and plays very well off the rush, which is the way that Colorado loves to play, which is the way that Rantanen loved to play, and that's why it was a bit of an adjustment for him in Dallas and in Carolina, because they don't play that type of hockey. They like to cycle more and play down low, and Rantanen's game is really best suited for a team that plays off the rush. I mean, yeah, they could love Necas all they want. Rantanen's the better player. And not only that, but you gave Marty Necas that type of money, almost as much as Mikko Rantanen, and you didn't want to give Mikko Rantanen a few million more? Was it really that you were going to offend Nathan MacKinnon by paying Mikko Rantanen more than Marty Necas? Because Mikko Rantanen signed for just as much, basically, as Nathan MacKinnon did. So what was the issue? Like, what was really the issue in Colorado? What was the schism? What was the rift there? That's what I want to know. Because if you couldn't if you couldn't mend that bridge, then that's a problem. Because you just got rid of one of the top, I would say, 25 best players in the league for a guy who's nowhere near him. And although the numbers look nice right now, shiny new toy. Mikko Rantanen come playoff time is probably going to do the same thing to them when they face again, because he's that pissed off and he's that good. Marty Necas will not do that come playoff time. He won't. And
you could argue
I don't think this has anything to do with it. I'm not going to lie to you, Romanello. I think that has nothing to do with it. I think there was something that came down with money and egos and some bruised egos and hurt feelings there. That's my guess. Again, I don't know anything. This is just me spitballing, speculating, but I don't think that has anything to do with it. I really don't.
I think you could argue that basically this was their swap, because Rantanen, he was trying to get a new contract. Rantanen was completely blindsided when he got traded to Carolina in this deal. And then you have Necas coming back, and Necas was looking to move elsewhere. Seriously, if they were afraid of like offending Nate MacKinnon, how much will he be offended when Kel McCarr is making probably $14 million because he's going to get a higher AAV than him. It's just going to be something that's going to happen. You just let it happen. Guys get their contracts at the right time. But come on, this Marnie Necas isn't the player Mikko Rantanen was. And that's why the argument is kind of there. And then on top of it, Rantanen ends up in Dallas eventually and knocks you out of the playoffs. You can make the argument that they could have been in the Stanley Cup Finals last year. A matter of fact, I think one of us had them in the two of us, I think, had them in the Stanley Cup Finals last year. So it's just, they're not even comparable as far as the quality of players. Rantanen is much better than Necas. All right. And we got two more Bar Talk topics right now. Let's look at the Edmonton Oilers right now. They are tied for wildcard 2 in the West, 16 points. If you drew the line with all the tiebreakers, they're outside of it. But they're slow starters, and they always seem to be slow starters. This is more about their placement in the division. So, Filk, the Edmonton Oilers shouldn't be concerned so much in their placement in the regular season.
Beer. I don't think you want to go in as a wild card team. I would want to have some sort of home ice advantage for the playoffs, but I look at the Edmonton Oilers the same way I look as the 2000 Yankees. Like they're a team that could just turn it on at any moment, and you never, ever, ever want to sleep on Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. They are two of the 3 best players in the world for damn good reasons. And they have proven that they can carry a team that lacks the depth to a conference final and a Stanley Cup final. So, there should be some level of concern, but this team clearly has the horses to just turn it on. And I do think that they're going to be aggressive at the trade deadline. I do think that they're going to go make more moves, and I think you'll see them as a team that's pretty active. I don't know if they'll be able to make a big blockbuster deal, but I do think that they will come in and bring in some reinforcements to help them out. Probably up front, if anything. I don't know what defense will be available to help them out, even though I do think they need an upgrade back there as well, especially with Mr. Sleepwalk through the regular season, just letting guys walk right into the net and score overtime winners, doing his thing during the regular season that way. I think the fans are getting tired of that as well. But yeah, I definitely think that there shouldn't be too much of a cause, but you definitely don't want to be a wild card team. You want to at least be in like one of the actual divisional spots, and preferably in one of the top 2.
Anthony, your thoughts on this?
Yeah, this is a beer. I don't know how much more I can add because Bill said everything, but they normally start slow. McDavid to Draisaitl can turn it on any moment, but at the same time, you don't want to, finish in a wild card spot and draw yourself one of the best teams in the West, and then you're putting yourself through a dogfight just to get out of the first round. So I think you at least want to position yourself where you can finish top 3 in the in the division. So it's a beer for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the beer too. You could be careful about this because maybe some teams will jump ahead of you. We all know Edmonton's going to rattle off 10 in a row in January or something like that. That's just what they do. They do that all the time the last few years. And just don't get too wrapped up in, we're going to be okay in the future. Because if you're okay in the future, sometimes the present gets overlooked. And the next thing you know, you're way behind. So I wouldn't exactly not do that, especially while they're just not getting good goaltending and they're not getting good play out of Evan Bouchard. We talked about that earlier. By the way, a little bit of a change up right here in our Bar Talk format, guys, because the NHL announces that a Stadium Series game is coming to Dallas's AT&T Stadium. That is Jerry World, one of the largest arenas in America, and a great place to host an event. They've had several different events there from the Final Four. And I think they had a Super Bowl a few years ago. Anyway, but fill in the blank for me on this one, Anthony. The NHL must put blank against the Dallas Stars.
I mean, I guess you could go the Avalanche. I mean, that's a team that they share a division with. You have the Brandon faces his whole team. Stars like Makar and McKinnon on a big stage in an outdoor game. So for me, that team makes the most sense. I mean, I really don't. I mean, maybe the Golden Knights, they've had some history together, but I don't think there's like one major one that's a must. I would just say either of those two teams.
Phil, who do you think?
I would say the Edmonton Oilers. They have a history in the playoffs. I know it's easy to say Avalanche, and yeah, that's fine. But the Edmonton Oilers, you got to get Connor McDavid on a Winter Classic somehow. You got to get him in there.
Even though this is a Stadium Series game.
The Stadium Series is different. You got to get him on that Winter Classic stage. I honestly think that there's also a little bit of a rivalry with them because they've played in the, like I said, in the playoffs. And you have two of the best players in the world in McDavid and Draisaitl on the big stage against the Stars in Jerry World. I think you can pull some numbers there.
It's funny that you said that, Phil, because my first instinct is to say Connor McDavid. But if you want the U.S. market, you want other superstars as there, I think Anthony convinced me with that. I think I go Colorado. You're going to downgrade to Nate McKinnon and Cale Makar, and you got the Mikko Rantanen subplot. I just don't know what Dallas is going to be by the time they have the Stadium Series game. Are they going to be just as good as they were this year and the previous years? I don't know. That's going to be a good question. We're kind of left a little bit open-ended by that one because so far they don't look to be as good as they were under Pete DeBoer last year under Glenn Gulletson. So it's hopefully they're still going to be quite good. But I'm thinking, yeah, you go with the territory rivalry in this one. Thought about saying Detroit Red Wings because you always want to try to get a major market in there, but at least with this one, maybe it's Colorado, and maybe that'll help the numbers. All right. And guys, quick discussion topic, because I thought we had two great series that happened this year in 2025. First, Stanley Cup Finals, Edmonton versus Florida, the rematch, multiple overtime games, and games that were thrilling, came down to the last minute, comebacks, everything in that series, and even the blowout, which was game 3, that was an exciting game as well. But then you have the Toronto Blue Jays versus the Los Angeles Dodgers. That series just took your breath away, down to the last minute, extra innings. So I ask, Phil, I'll start with you. Which was better this year at the World Series of the Stanley Cup Finals?
I didn't watch much of the World Series. I lost interest after the Yankees were knocked out. I know the Game 7 was ridiculous. A lot of people said Game 6 was very good as well. I thought the 2024 Stanley Cup Finals was better than the 2025 one. So, I mean, I'm only going to go Stanley Cup Finals just because I watched more of that one. But I know a lot of people will probably end up saying World Series. So.
All right, Anthony.
Same as Phil. I didn't watch. The only part of that series I watched was literally the ending. I had a hockey game the other night. I got home in time to see really just the 11th inning where Yamamoto won it. But yeah, for me, I barely watched any of it. So by default, I got to go with the Stanley Cup Finals.
I am gonna say the World Series. I did watch it all, and I watched all the Stanley Cup Finals as well. And it does get to be the World Series by a hair, because after all, you look at the Stanley Cup Finals. Edmonton came back, tied that game late. That happened twice, back-to-back games, game 2 and game 3, with the home team tied it up late. The Florida Panthers would do that in game 3 on Reinhardt's goal. But then you have the home run by Rojas that happens in the 9th inning in game 7. The fact that the Blue Jays, even if you want to say a game of inches, they still came inches away from winning the World Series, probably twice, you could argue, in just game 7, if not in game 6, because if that ball doesn't get stuck underneath the fence, chances are they tie that game up. And who knows, maybe they win that in extra innings. This was an incredible series. This, to me, you guys missed out. This might be the best World Series I ever watched, and there were several good World Series that I've seen. But this one really took the cake. All right. Let's move on to the Pick Ems segment, because after all, we got Anthony here, and the Pick Ems segment is about to happen. So we are kind of moving along kind of nicely right now.
I've got a gut feeling.
You want me to do 2 things?
Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man.
Now shoot!
All right. Welcome back to Big Apple Hockey's Pick Ems, where we're going to give you a couple choices, and you pick between these 2 choices. Yeah, Johnny,
that game was absurd. I watched some of it.
That was baseball at its best. When people want to say, "Oh, I can't stand the slow pacing of baseball," that was when the pace of baseball builds the drama, builds the chess match. The only thing you kind of wish is that guys understood how to be better situational hitters instead of. I mean, not for nothing. Vladimir Guerrero's on third base, the game-tying run in the 11th inning, I think it was, and he looked like he was still trying to pull the ball. If you hit it to the right side, there's more of a chance of getting him in right there. Anyway, let's go to some of these other ones. Anthony, we'll start with you. More impressive start to the season, Cutter Gauthier or Trevor Zegras?
Cutter Gauthier. This is no disrespect to Zegras. It looks like the change in scenery has done him good in Philly so far, but he's been around for a little bit now. Cutter Gauthier, this is his, last year was his first full year in the NHL. For him to come out with 10 goals and 16 points so far for Anaheim, he's one of the reasons why Anaheim is having a really, really good year so far, along with Leo Carlson, another high pick. For me, it's Gauthier. Again, no disrespect to Zegras, but I really love what Anaheim has going right now with some of these young guys.
Filk?
I got to go Gauthier because the goals, like 10 goals right now in 12 games. I'm pretty sure he's the NHL's leader, right?
He is, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. I just that's insane. And I mean, that type of year. And the crazy part is that I believe he had a hat trick. I mean, against Florida. I mean, sure, it's a depleted Florida team, but it's still impressive. I mean, he put up 2 against San Jose in his second game, 1 against Pittsburgh, 1 against Nashville, 1 against Boston, 1 against Florida in a shootout win, 1 against Jersey, and then the hat trick against Florida. I mean, Zegras is having himself a hell of a year, but it's Gauthier for me. It really is. So I'm gonna go Gauthier.
Yeah, I would make this a clean sweep if this was Bar Talk, and make this Cutter Gauthier as well, or make it a hat trick.
There's the hat little banner thing that you get.
Yeah, actually, I can still put that on for us right there. All right, so there's I'm making a hat trick for us. There it is. But I do have to say this: Zegras, who a lot of people might have had some doubts on whether or not he could really achieve this level. Zegras has had such a great season in Philly that this basically ends up being sort of like, not exactly, because obviously it was Jamie Drysdale, but you could argue that it was Zegras for Cutter Gauthier in the trade. But it's it's a great start for both these guys. I look forward to them keep on building on it. And I keep wanting to make a joke, since it's Gauthier, that they're treating Zegras like Mighty Duck that they used to know, but that really doesn't fit that well. So, Anthony, go right back to you on this one. Who's been more disappointing this season, Steven Stamkos or Artemi Panarin?
I mean, Panarin's got 7 points for a guy of his skill caliber. That's really, really bad, and 4 of them come in one game. But despite that, I have to say Stamkos. I mean, until Stamkos scored that goal last night to tie the game with the clock expiring, he only had one goal. Even still, he's got 2 goals, and I think just 3 points in 15 games. He looks like Father Time has caught up to him, and that he's just about out of gas in that tank. I know Nashville's a bad team, and maybe it's just not a good fit, but he doesn't look good. So for me, I have to say Stamkos. Although Panarin, let's not get it twisted, Panarin does not look good for the Rangers.
Yeah, Phil.
The shit sandwich or the turd taco? Really, what are we doing here? I guess it's Stamkos, but I mean, after last season, like, I really don't know what was to be expected from Stamkos. So this is why I really struggle with this one, because Panarin, you're expecting to be at least a point per game player, and outside of that 1 4-point game, he's got 3 points in his other 12 games. That's abysmal. So you know what? I'm actually going to go Panarin. I'm sorry. I'm going to go Panarin. I know it's going to be, Hot Take Central. This is another podcaster with another hot take. Mm-hmm. Here they are, the Hot Take Factory going off. No, I'm sorry. But when you're expected to be the guy and you're expected to really kind of hunker down the offense and be the linchpin, and the offense is supposed to revolve around you and everybody else is supposed to hop on your back, and you're the guy that really elevates everybody else, you're a disappointment. And it's a disappointment because he's let either his emotions get the best of him because he's checked out because the Rangers don't want to give him a long-term deal, or he's really struggling with the fact that he doesn't have a contract, which, like Elliot Friedman hinted at on Morning Cup of Hockey this morning, which I was watching. I don't think that, it's obviously gotten to his head. I don't think he's all there. So whether he's checked out mentally and he wants to get the hell out of here, or whether he's really struggling with it because he wants to be here and is gripping the stick too tightly for whatever reason, I don't know. But Panarin's more disappointing. I'm sorry, but Stamkos has been on a decline for a while now. If you looked at his underlying numbers in Tampa, if you watched him, mm-hmm. he was not good at 5-on-5 for a while. The raw totals might tell you, oh, hey, he had a 40-goal, 80-point season right before he left. Okay. Did you watch him from shift to shift? Because a lot of that is power play. He was not a good 5-on-5 guy. So for me, Stammer, yeah, he's been the more disappointing player offensively in terms of production. But I think in relevance to what you ask of each player, Panarin has been far more disappointing.
Yeah, I'm going to go Panarin too. And as much as it might sound like an anti-homer pick, if you will, no, it's Panarin. You had one good game. Good for you. 3 points the rest of the way. That's it. You're in a contract year. You can't play under the pressure of having a contract. How can you play under the pressure of being in the playoffs? Here's the other reason why. Because Panarin's going to be 35 next season. And that's why you got to be hesitant handing out contracts to these guys when they're older. Who's 35 and 217 days right now? That would be Steven Stamkos. Father Time is unbeaten. And a matter of fact, Steven Stamkos has played I'll see what the comment is in a second. Steven Stamkos has played almost 1,200 games in the NHL. That is, bread is moldy. Yeah, you're right about that, Andy. All right. But, this is just something that Ranger fans have to deal with, especially when they're trying to say there's a contingent that is saying right now, you're crazy. You got to resign this guy. No, you don't, because bread gets moldy. Everybody, we'll go with what that comment just said. All right. Phil, going back to you on this one. Who will make Team Canada? Now, this is who will actually make Team Canada. So I'm going to say it again for the soundbite. Who will make Team Canada? Mark Scheifele or Macklin Celebrini?
I think they're gonna go with Scheifele. It should be Celebrini. I think Scheifele's playing very, very well. Don't get me wrong, but I think it should be Celebrini, and I don't think I shouldn't say I don't think it should be close. But I just think he fits in a variety of ways that Mark Scheifele might not. Like on a bigger ice surface, you're going to want a guy that can cover more ground. I think Macklin Celebrini can also fit into a fourth line center role better than Mark Scheifele could. And I know I'll have pushback on that. And that's fine. That's fine. I just think Macklin Celebrini is already becoming a superstar. And listen, Mark Scheifele, hell of a year so far. I mean, in 13 games, he's got 20 points. Just think about that. 9 goals and 11 assists in 13 games for Mark Scheifele. For a team that lost Nikolai Ehlers, you thought everybody's production was going to suffer. But Scheifele and Connor have stayed right where they are. Oh, and guess who stepped up? Guess who stepped up? The guy that the New York Rangers should have drafted in 2017, Gabriel Velarde. That guy stepped up. Almost like, hey, we can figure out what's going on with this guy's injury. We can work through it, and we shouldn't pass up on skill over, a safe pick. That was really a reach. Go figure. But yeah, I think Scheifele will make it. Celebrini will be a guy that will probably be in the next Olympic roster if he doesn't make this year's team. So that's why I think it, because I think Scheifele, this might be his last hurrah. Because the next time it comes around, Scheifele will be, 37, I think?
Yeah.
So I definitely think that, no, he's 32, so he'll be 36. He'll be 36.
And still be his last hurrah, Bilk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anthony, which guy should make Team Canada or will make Team Canada? You're muted.
I think it will be Scheifele, but if they want to go youth, Celebrini is a choice. I mean, Celebrini's been described as like a Crosby light, which is how smart he is and how responsible he is. He plays the game with speed. But again, if Canada's looking for experience and depth in moments when it's going to really matter, they may prefer the veteran in Scheifele. So I'm gonna say it's Scheifele, but I prefer Celebrini. But I understand if they want to take the veteran.
John Cooper has had the ability to make these tough calls, and that ends up being right. Scheifele was incredibly upset with not being on Team Canada last year. However, and sorry to everybody on Instagram, we've lost the feed now for that. So, but Scheifele then played incredibly well leading up to the Four Nations, and now he's second in the NHL in scoring. He's really going to make John Cooper's life miserable trying to figure this out. But I think I think he does make Team Canada. I think Cooper's just not going to be able to pass him up. Celebrini is going to have other times, as Phil said before. In 4 years from now, Scheifele will be 36. Maybe it'll be his last hurrah at it. Celebrini will be right smack dab in his prime. He's making it the next time around, and that would probably be a roster spot Scheifele's not going to get. So I'm going to go with Scheifele making it this time around, and they might tell Celebrini you're redshirted until the next time around. But I would not be surprised if it took Celebrini over Scheifele and to use his two-way game, which is all really good. And then lastly, Filk, who is going to be the U.S. third-string goalie? That is assuming Jake Ottinger will be the second string. But the third string goalie, is it going to be Jeremy Swayman, who had a pretty good game against the Islanders last night, or Dustin Wolf?
Again, I think they're going to go with the senior guy in Swayman. I just think that you have a guy, and I mean, he's the 310 and the 897 save percentage are not great. And I honestly think Wolf is the better goalie. I don't think it's particularly close right now, but I just think that they're going to go on, again, tenure. It's like, and Johnny, I mean, if you're still in the chats, I don't know how this worked when you were at Mercyhurst or UMass, but coaches sometimes at the college level tend to go with the seniors and the juniors over the underclassmen. I know Jerry York had a propensity for it at Boston College, and the one exception to his rule was Johnny Gaudreau. Johnny Gaudreau had absolutely forced his hand because he was so unbelievably good. But Chris Kreider, Kevin Hayes, Jimmy Hayes, those guys had to work their way up.
Yeah.
I do think that it's probably going to be Swayman, and Wolf, if he continues his play beyond this year, will likely be on the next one. So,
yeah, I got to agree on this one, and I think that's where I'm going to say, yeah, I think it's going to be Wolf. It's going to be Swayman over Wolf. Swayman kind of had it. For the Four Nations, and then he really didn't have that good of a start to the season. And with all due respect to Thatcher Demko, it's going to be down to these two. And Dustin Wolf, despite what the numbers might say in Calgary, he's just been it's been a tough go for him, but he hasn't been the problem. Sort of like what you hear with people talking about the Rangers right now. Shesterkin's not the problem. Sorokin just hasn't carried the Islanders, but he hasn't been the problem either. Same thing with Dustin Wolf. Dustin Wolf is not the problem in Calgary. So, but Swayman's looked pretty good, given the fact that Boston just isn't as good as what they've been. And you put him behind a more talented defense like you would with Team USA, then I'd be more than comfortable with him back there. All right. Bill, that's actually the end of our Pick Ems segment.
I wouldn't use Ottinger just because of the fact that goalies are different.
Yeah. And how do you go away from Hellebuck? Is what Hellebuck did in the Four Nations?
No. He's not talking about Hellebuck. And he's talking about Ottinger at BU.
Okay.
Yeah, completely different.
Okay, my bad. I was still focused on the Olympics right there. All right. We got a new game we're going to debut later. We're going to do Obscurities, but where we're going to name obscure NHL players, and we've got to name how many teams that they played on. But before we do that, while we wait for Anthony to get back, we'll do a quick Puckdoku right now. And
also, Jake Ottinger also started over another goalie that was also a first-year goalie at Boston University, Connor LaCove. So I wouldn't say that Jake Ottinger had to work his way ahead of anybody. So definitely a different scenario, Romanello.
All right. For the people that are listening right now, obviously if you're watching it, you guys could see it. But our top row, we have Capitals, the Canucks, and under 500 games played in their career. And the y-axis is the Sabres, the Winnipeg Jets, Atlantic Thrashers version, and born in Finland. Filk, where do you want to start off?
Born in Finland. Born in Finland, under 500 games. Did Tarmo Reunanen played a game at the NHL level, right? Yeah. Tarmo Reunanen for under 500 games, born in Finland.
I forgot how to spell his name. I know he played it.
His first name is Tarmo. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there it is. Tarmo Reunanen, 0.3%.
Yep, the former Ranger. Let's see, under 500 games in the Winnipeg / Atlanta franchise. Was Junior Lassard? No, it was Francis Lassard that played in Atlanta. Did he play under 500? Yeah, Francis Lassard.
Francis Lassard. So, sorry, that's which one?
Yeah, the Winnipeg one.
Yeah, okay.
He played under 500 games, and he played.
Francis Lassard. There we go. Going to the Buffalo Sabres. Well, you actually tell me which one it is. I got a little bit too far ahead of myself. Guy that played for the Buffalo Sabres in under 500 games. I got one, Jason Daw.
I wonder how popular that answer would be.
Okay. I think Roy Fitzpatrick would be too popular, right?
Oh, that's actually a good one, I think.
287 from Rochester, New York.
That's the only thing. Like he's a local boy, so I wonder how popular that answer would be.
Yeah.
I
mean, Jean-Luc Grandpierre, he's another one that could fit in there.
I tried Jean-Luc Grandpierre.
Okay, so we'll go Jean-Luc Grandpierre right here. 0.2%. Here we go. All right, we still have the Finnish guys for the Capitals and the Canucks. I think it's going to be easier for the Canucks than it is for the Capitals. I'm having trouble thinking of a Finn that played for the Capitals. Well, besides
Buffalo
Tikkanen.
Sabre. Buffalo Sabre and Vancouver. Dave Babbage didn't play for the Sabres, did he?
I don't believe Dave Babbage did play for the Sabres. My first thought was Michael Pekka because I know that he was a prospect.
Way too obvious. He was in the Alexander McGillney trade.
Right, but did he play a game for them?
He played for Vancouver, yes.
Babbage did not play for Vancouver.
No, Babbage didn't. I looked it up. He did not.
Try another one of my favorites, which is usually Jeff Brown.
Jeff Brown did not play in Buffalo. That I know.
No, he did not. However, he did play with the Washington Capitals, but that's a box that we don't have that we can fill in.
Yeah, exactly. Jeez. I think I have one. Well, I have one that can actually go for both born in Finland for Vancouver and Washington because it's the same player. I think you might be able to figure out who I'm talking about, but I think he might also be too popular.
Yeah, but I'm thinking still it's Tikkanen who could be either
exactly.
one.
You nailed it right away.
I think Tikkanen would be better for the Capitals because I think there's definitely Finns that we haven't touched on the
Tyler Myers, yes, is Winnipeg and Vancouver Romanello.
Yeah.
But I think, again, too popular.
Tyler Myers there, but I think he's going to be too popular.
Actually, he fits for both of those because he was a Sabre. He won the Calder with the Sabres in 2010.
That is true. Besides, I think I would go Donald Audette right here in this one. Audette played with the threat. Oh, wait. Sorry.
I was about to say, I don't think he was ever.
Yep, I mixed it up. That's my fault.
Get the gift.
You know, the guy that's forgotten in that trade between it was Kane, Myers. It was a 5-player trade. I'm trying to remember who else was involved in that trade.
I think I might. Oh, hold on. Ah, damn it! No, it's If it was Buffalo and friggin' Winnipeg, I could have used Bob Corkum because he played for Atlanta.
Yeah, I'm having that. Obviously, I just made that mistake as well.
And Bob Corkum never played for Vancouver, so
Buffalo and the Capitals. I can think of Yaroslav Halak right away, who played for both. I think he did it in the same season.
Oh, Yuri Milan only fucking played for Buffalo. Damn it. Wait, Bill Holder, I think, played for one of these two other teams.
Yeah, Bill Holder definitely did because Bill Holder is one of my popular ones.
Bill Holder played for Washington and Buffalo. Yeah, use Bill Holder in the top left.
Yeah, there you go. Bill Holder. Okay. So we got Bill Holder.
I remember Bill Holder with like San Jose and Tampa Bay. But I knew he played for Washington and Buffalo as well. Can I find a Buffalo and a Vancouver? Slager never played for Buffalo.
You want to talk about somebody that's too obvious. What about Christian Ehrhoff? Just saying he was too obvious. Not really.
Where?
Buffalo, Vancouver.
Ehrhoff played in Vancouver?
Yeah, I believe so. Didn't he?
I don't.
Maybe I'm confusing him in those jerseys. And I thought Christian Ehrhoff. I'm going to make an idiot out of myself.
I don't
I like that I'm conceding that. Yeah, he played for the Vancouver Canucks.
Oh, he even had a 50-point season in Vancouver. Holy shit.
Yeah, I still think he'd be too obvious for Buffalo.
Yeah, right? I think he might be more of. Yeah, I think he might be a little too obvious.
There's a guy that I'm missing, and I know that there's a guy that I'm missing that played for the Sabres. I usually like to. Did Tim Hunter play for one of these guys? Quebec Nordiques, Vancouver Canucks.
I don't know what this is supposed to say, DP. I'm sorry, I'm confused here.
Hold on, what we got?
Yeah, Komarov. Funny, I found this out years ago. He wasn't born in Finland. He was actually born in the USSR. That's weird.
Yeah, there's a couple guys like that. Isn't that the same case with Mika Zibanejad, or it was his parents? It was born in Sweden.
Zibanejad was born in Huddinge, I think it's pronounced, Sweden.
Yeah, you're right about.
His parents are of different descents. I think his father, or I can't remember whether it's his father or his mother, is Iranian and speaks like Farsi, and that's how he learned that language. Like, he's fluent in like 5 different languages. It's crazy.
I was hoping to fit Nathan Lafayette in there, but I can't.
I don't think Lafayette played for Buffalo.
No.
Or Washington. I know he played obviously for Vancouver.
Like I said I was hoping it didn't happen.
Brad May fits both Buffalo and Vancouver, but I don't know.
He's an obvious choice.
I think that's going to be too obvious. It would be cool if he was fluent in center again. That's true. That is, you're not wrong there, Romanello. You're not wrong.
I was hoping that I had somebody, but blanking a little bit.
Randy Wood, I don't think played for Vancouver. Otherwise, that would be I know he was an Islander, and then.
All right, I got one for either the Capitals or the Canucks. You take a pick.
Okay.
Oh, wait, sorry. Capitals and Canucks. No, It's just that one. Nolan Baumgartner.
Do it.
Okay, so
that's a good one.
Oh, no, it's the Capitals and the Canucks. Rats. Hold on. Let me just double check. Is Atlanta in there? Nope. All right, Nolan Baumgartner is not the right one. Because it's good. There's no box. I had the wrong box again.
Wayne Presley did. I don't think he ever played for Vancouver. No, he didn't. Damn it. Richard Schmeller.
Okay, how about this one? Capitals and Thrashers, because we keep saying Thrashers. Ken Klee.
Yeah, you could do that.
Incorrect.
You're in the wrong spot, Mark. You were in Winnipeg, Vancouver.
I'll fix that. Riveting television we got here. And let me get Ken Klee in there. Let's see what that number was. Now,
no, it was Washington. You're in the wrong spot again.
Oh, boy. Everybody. All right.
Oh, Mark.
Get the GIF. All right, we'll put Ken Klee in there right now. There he is. He's a 1%er.
Oh, that's all right. I mean, I don't remember him. I mean, I barely remember him in Atlanta. I think he might have actually been on the roster when the Rangers faced them in the playoffs. Or I could be wrong on that.
Lassard you had for
the Atlanta one, the Winnipeg.
And I forgot what we had up here for Buffalo. Oh, we had. I forgot who we had. Oh, Crampier.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So finally, we can finish these off. We need 2 Finns and the Vancouver guys.
I got one for Vancouver and Buffalo. Grant Ledyard.
Grant Ledyard. Okay. Going back to NHL PA 92.
I think this is going to be a little too high. The old heads will bring this one up. Petri Skriko.
Sorry, what?
Data saying Petri Skriko. I think the old heads will know that one. I think that might be a little too high.
All right, you sure? Okay.
Yeah, I would hold off on that. There's other Finns that they've had there. Jyrki Lumme is going to be too obvious because he was a long time top 4D in Vancouver. Played a lot of years in the NHL.
I kind of got a name I want to throw out there, but I'm not sure about that one.
Which one?
Steve Bernier, Vancouver and Buffalo.
I think you could do that. I think he played in Vancouver later in his career. I know he was in Buffalo for a bit.
It was right after Buffalo.
Yeah, and then I think he ended with Jersey, if I'm correct.
I believe you.
Or no, it was the
Islanders actually he ended with.
Wow.
Yeah, we're gonna go Steve Bernier. Just moving.
Yeah, you could do Bernier.
Incorrect.
You're in Winnipeg and Vancouver.
I am in the wrong spot every freaking time. Because Grant
Ledyard. You already used Grant Ledyard there.
Jeez. All right. Let's we'll finish up the score because I'm a screw up. All right, hold on. Let me get this ready again. Fix it. Oh, yay.
You need to like slow down and watch which one you're picking.
No, this is obviously this is my mistake. This is
no, I know, but I'm just saying you need to slow down.
Well, yeah, all right. Well, I'm going on multiple different windows here. So ledger.
That's why again, slow.
No, I got it. Slow down. Let's be a lesson to everybody out there. Just slow down. Lassard. And
you got to remember, Mark, we're under the 2-hour mark right now.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to speed us up a little bit. Okay, and there we are. We're just sharing it right back again, guys. Share screen. Okay, so we're fixed. All right, we still got 2 Finns and a Winnipeg /Thrasher /Canuck.
I would say, yeah, gonna play the role of bartender. Cut Mark off. Fine, go Petri Skriko for Vancouver. See what happens. I mean, we're already outside of
Vancouver and Winnipeg.
No, for Finn and Winnipeg. I mean, not Finn and Vancouver.
Like that?
No. Go back.
Okay.
Petri. The middle one.
Skriko.
Yes.
4%er.
I thought so. I thought the old heads were gonna.
Yeah. So we're gonna try Tikkanen over here.
I guess so. That's gonna be higher, I think.
43%. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
This will be the highest one we ever had. So just name anybody now.
Winnipeg and Vancouver. So it could be Atlanta and Vancouver as well. Who is
Francis check Caberlet? Nope. Carolina. That's LA. Pittsburgh has got
Johan Karpenlov never played for Vancouver, right? No, he didn't.
No.
I knew he was a Detroit, San Jose, and then Atlanta guy.
Now we can literally name anybody, and we're still having trouble trying to get somebody in there. No, that's Savard.
No. Peter Buzek never played in Vancouver. He was a Dallas guy before he went to Vancouver.
Okay, I got it for this one. It's Yannick Tremblay.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, we're just going there. Okay, let's see where we messed up. Obviously, you got Sammy Salo that's over here. This was our one that there was only the only 2%ers. Tommy Santala or Tommy, I don't know how they pronounce it. Or you had Mikko Jokela or Jokela.
Yeah,
I will accept whatever butchering. The Capitals, there was no chance of getting under 1% because the Capitals had 2 guys, none of them who I've ever heard of.
Yeah, the Capitals haven't employed a lot of the Finns over the years. Like Swedes, they've had Slovaks, they've had Czechs.
Tikkanen would have been a better answer for Vancouver than Skriko.
Yeah, I figured that might have been the case.
And
he
there
was
some
really
big
there for just one
percenters.
season, and the Rangers got him back at the 97 trade deadline when they sent Evgenov the other way.
Yep. Joey Crabb. Joey Crabb played for...
Joey Crabb, former Ranger. Oh, God.
All right. All right, let's go on. Let's do the... let's go. Anthony said there was a problem with this when it happened last week. Let me see if I could get around that.
Yeah, I don't know where Anthony is. I don't know where the hell he went.
Oh, he's got he probably had to pick up he had probably had to get Ella off the school bus because it is like 3:40. So the pyramid. Yeah, I keep on getting that it's not active. So unless you could try it on your end, Filk, and bring us back.
Hold on.
All right, let's get some of your comments. Yeah, I know. I went to the wrong place.
No, it's happening for me too.
Yeah, so I guess we're just gonna stick with this right now. We've had a lot of internet problems with everything today.
We wanted to play Obscurities, but Anthony is.
Well, we'll chat around until Anthony comes back. See what happens with that.
I don't know how long he's going to be.
I don't know. We'll find out about that soon enough.
Because that was a game that Anthony would have loved that game. So
yeah, I think I had a couple good Obscurities right now. If you want to go naming some guys. Although my problem is my guys that I have, I'm not gonna remember where the hell they.
All right, you know what? We can do it, and then if Anthony comes back, we can do that.
All right. So
hold on.
Yeah, Dario, I can't wait to either. And a matter of fact, I don't like being proven right when I'm trying to be negative on something, but I said the Rangers are going to regret the JT Miller trade. I didn't want to do it. I bought into it a little bit. I still think that they made a huge mistake. Stu Machine took my quarter.
All right.
By the way, it's great to see that everybody's here. Keep trying to spread the word on us. We're a hockey show. We work hard on this. No. Always make sure you hit that subscribe and that like button. Boop. Covering Phil's face.
All right. I've got 3 players for you.
Okay.
And we're gonna rename this folder Obscurities. Actually, you know what? We'll rename this folder to game segments.
Okay.
Because so that's Bar Talk, Pick Ems, Obscurities, so on. Okay. So Obscurities. Naming teams let's edit that a little bit. Naming teams. These obscure so naming these obscure teams these players played on, and I'm going to give 3. I'm going to type in the banners.
Okay.
And I'll
I got
flash
3 as well.
Screen. One of them I gotta have to copy and paste because it's a ridiculous name. The spelling is just like really hard. This is a name that I would never get on you for like messing up, just because. And the only reason
one guy that I was trying to figure out how the way he spelled his name was Railroad Salinen. I wanted to see what teams he played for, if he played for other teams besides the Rangers.
Edmonton, I know that for a fact.
Yeah.
All right. So, Mark, the first one, Steve Guala.
Oh, God.
Remember, you get a point for. All right, so let's just establish this right now. So there's three names that we're going to name, and you get a point for every team that player played for. Correct answer. And the contestant with the most points at the end of the three wins.
Yeah. Steve Guala.
And also did you want to do a 30-second time limit or a 60-second time limit?
I will do a 30-second time limit. So time limits on that.
So
30.
hold on here. So
well,
I'm actually giving you a little bit of an advantage here.
And wrong answers would disqualify you from the round. So, in other words,
that we didn't talk about. But if you want to do that,
well, I'm just saying. Well, it ends you from the round. So, like, take for instance, if I say the wrong name right here, because we could keep going. Like, if we're going to name guys that played for certain teams, you're going to ping. I'm going to ping pong back to you. You're going to go back to me. And once I get it wrong, we're out. And then I'm out. You have to get it right.
I think that's
So,
Quar, I always think of Empire Records. Hey, Mark, do you want to join the
band? Steve Guala. The worst part is I know this name.
So we're gonna start with 30 seconds for Steve Guala starting now.
Okay, Buffalo Sabres.
That is incorrect.
Boss. I know this name. Damn it. All right, go ahead, Phil.
You're giving up on Steve Guala?
Oh no, okay, no. All right, so I'm gonna keep going.
No,
right,
it's
Steve
you.
Guala. So Buffalo Sabres, no.
I'm giving you extra time.
Jets? Phil?
What?
Winnipeg Jets?
No. Oh, yes.
Okay, yes.
Technically, because by proxy, it's Atlanta Thrashers. So
okay.
your time was definitely up. So you got 1 point for Steve Guala.
All right, I'll take 1 point.
All right, so if you have 30 seconds to name the amount of teams they played for,
I like that.
Okay.
Okay.
The whole wrong answer disqualifies you.
We're not doing the innings format. We're doing this.
No, we're not doing 3 strikes and out or anything like that. No, you have 30 seconds, and then you get to
Steve Guala, because I knew he had that jersey, and then I did say Winnipeg Jets. So all right, so I guess 1. All right, what's
this
next?
One's going to be really tough, Mark. I don't know if you're even going to get this.
Okay,
Grigoris Pantaleevs.
Okay, Gregorius Pantaleevs, which I should use this for pants. You use and call him that when I play golf with him tomorrow.
15 seconds.
Okay, Gregorius Pantaleevs. This guy has to be Vancouver Canuck.
No.
Okay, Winnipeg Jet.
No.
Buffalo Sabre.
No.
All
Over.
right.
It was the Bruins and the Islanders.
All right.
And you're right about this. Latvian. Technically, he was born in Russia, USSR, but I believe he's technically Latvian.
What year did he play with the Islanders?
He was on the Bruins 92, 93, 93, 94, 94, 95, and then the Islanders 95, 96.
All right.
He played 54 career games.
Okay. So in that case, yeah, I was thinking maybe if it was like around 2006, 2007, that area, he played with the Islanders because Ted Nolan used to coach Latvia. So that's
okay.
All
right. And the last one, I think you probably should get at least one of the teams for this guy, if not more. Alexander Selivanov starting now.
Okay. Tampa Bay Lightning.
Yep.
Anaheim Mighty Ducks.
Nope.
Philadelphia Flyers. He tried to flip the puck over the Alexander Selivanov.
Nope.
He didn't play for the Flyers. He didn't try to
15
flip
seconds. Nope.
15 seconds. I think it might have been Seminoff. Shit. All right, I'm gonna tap.
All right, that was 30 seconds. And the other two teams he played for were the Edmonton Oilers and Columbus Blue Jackets. His big year was 95-96 when that Tampa Bay Lightning team, where he had 30 goals, and Roman Hamrlik had a 66-point season.
You know what? My problem was I confused him with Anatoly Semenov.
Yeah, no. That was, two different guys.
Two different guys.
And Anatoly Semenov played in Edmonton.
All right.
I'm pretty sure he played in Edmonton.
Let me get mine loaded because I had these. All right, Filk, 30 seconds on the clock. Can you get all the teams this guy played for? And let me just get his.
Okay, so you got 2, Mark. You had 2 points.
Oh, boy. I am going to have to work on that. All right. Here we go with my first one. Ryan Vanderbush.
Rangers, Toronto, Chicago.
Nope. Yep.
Sabres?
No.
How many more teams?
Just one.
St. Louis?
Nope.
Dallas?
Nope.
Colorado?
Nope.
Not Philadelphia. Shit. Atlanta?
Nope.
Washington?
Nope. 10 seconds. I forgot to set the timer. So
yeah, I was about to say that was definitely more than 30 seconds, I think.
All right. The last team was Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh. Shit. Wow. Okay. All right. So I got 3 points on him.
All right. Let me get the next 2 loaded, and we're ready to go.
Yeah, I'm trying not to peek in the folder too.
And peeking wouldn't be that bad.
No, I'd rather wait for it to come up on that. But Vanderbush is definitely someone I was familiar with. I liked him as a Ranger. He was a scrappy fighter, man.
All right. And we're not even streaming to Facebook right now. There's been a whole lot of problems over there.
I saw that before.
Okay. You ready for this one?
Go right ahead.
Dave McElwain.
Arizona/Winnipeg.
Yes, that was definitely in there. I just had to.
McElwain.
Damn it.
Ottawa.
Yes.
How many more teams?
I have 4 more teams.
Detroit?
No. And 15 seconds.
San Jose?
No.
Tampa Bay?
No.
Boston?
No.
Calgary?
No.
Toronto?
Yes. Okay. 2 more. And up.
Time up? All right. So I've got 6 so far.
All right. Yeah, I think you got 6 overall.
Yeah, 6 so far.
Yeah. Dave McElwain, Winnipeg, Ottawa, Pittsburgh, Toronto, Islanders, and Buffalo Sabres.
Oh, wow. Okay.
All right.
I remember him from NHL 94 on Ottawa. That was.
Yeah, I remember him from Ottawa as well. Actually, I do remember him from him being on the Islanders as well. And let me get this last one loaded up. He did have a slew of teams, and you're going to recognize the name right away. I will hit start on this right now. Pascal Rium.
Oh, Rangers, Devils, St. Louis.
You got 3 right off the bat.
Anaheim?
No.
Atlanta.
4.
How many more teams?
2 more.
Dallas?
Nope.
Tampa Bay?
No.
I know Mana played that game. Columbus?
Nope. And time. Chicago and Phoenix.
Fuck.
Yeah. Which I was surprised about this. He was never traded for a player until the Devils traded him after his second stint. He was a Devil, claimed on waivers by St. Louis. Then he was signed as a free agent with the Blackhawks, selected off of waivers by the Thrashers, traded for unknown compensation to the Devils, signed as a free agent with the Rangers. I forgot he was a Ranger.
I remember him as a Ranger for a very brief time. I think it was that 03, 04 he was there?
You were correct, and 17 games.
Yeah. I like, because I remember I was like, oh, they got Pascal Réaume. I was like, really? Does he really do much for this team anymore?
Yeah, was he bringing his sister? Is that what they were trying to help for? And that's really what it was right there. All right, so that was a little bit of the debut with that. Like I thought about like a categories type of thing for us with this, because after all, Phil, there was a guy that came into Croker's one of the times, and we did World Series winners from 1990 on and the World Series MVP. And I was looking at him going, should I do the World Series MVPs too? Because I know most of them as well.
Yeah.
Like my hard part is when I get to 2021. Like, take for instance, if we were doing it for us, obviously, I know we could both clear the 90s pretty easily. Yeah, you feel like going for this real quick? I think we could do it pretty fast.
What?
This one is an inning format. Like I would start 1990, Edmonton Oilers off of Boston Bruins, Bill Ranford MVP. 1991, go ahead.
Oh, Stanley Cup Finals and Conn Smythe winner?
Yeah.
Pittsburgh and Mario Lemieux.
Okay, 92, Pittsburgh over Chicago and Mario Lemieux.
Oh, you want me to do both teams? And
yeah, I think I mean, I know it was Minnesota.
Okay,
so.
Yeah. The first one was Minnesota, and it was Lemieux.
93,
92, 93. It's Montreal over LA. Patrick Waugh, one of the best goaltending runs ever in a playoff.
Correct. Rangers over Vancouver in 94. Brian Lee.
Devils over Red Wings in 95 with Claude Lemieux, the Conn Smythe winner, led the NHL in goals in the postseason with 14.
The same answer for 96, where it's this guy that led the NHL in goals in the postseason. That would be Joe Sakic of the Avalanche in 4 over the Florida Panthers.
Are we doing games now too?
No, I'm just showing off on that one.
Okay.
Just do win or losses. I think we could easily do the games. If you know it, throw it out there.
Okay. And then 97 is Red Wings over Flyers in 4 with Mike Vernon winning the Conn Smythe.
Then it was Red Wings over Capitals at 4, Steve Yzerman winning the Conn Smythe.
99 was Dallas over Buffalo in 6 with Joe Nieuwendyk winning the Conn Smythe.
2000 would be the Devils over the Devils over Dallas in 6 and Scott Stevens Conn Smythe.
Correct. And then 2001 was the Avalanche over the Devils in 7 with Patrick Waugh winning his 3rd and final Conn Smythe.
2002 would be Red Wings over Carolina in 5 and Nick Lidstrom Conn Smythe.
2003 was the Devils over the Ducks in 7, and it was John Sebastian Jaguar winning the Conn Smythe, being he was at the time the most recent until Connor. Well, we'll talk about that one later.
We'll get that one again.
Yeah.
Okay, 2004, Tampa Bay in 7 over the Flames. and the Conn Smythe, Brad Richards.
2005 was forfeited. 2006 was Carolina in 7 over Edmonton, and the Conn Smythe winner was Cam Ward.
Yes. This is the one that probably nobody remembers, like the actual thing. But the Anaheim Mighty Ducks the Anaheim Ducks, I should say, in 4 over the Ottawa Senators. And if I recall correctly, Conn Smythe is Scott Niedermayer.
You were correct on Niedermayer, but I don't think you're correct on the games. I don't think that was 4.
And then maybe it was 5.
I think it was 6, actually.
I don't think it was 6. I think it was.
I think that was either 5 or 6. I don't think that was a 4-game sweep, though. I'll tell you that.
I thought it was. I mean, that's how much I took that for granted. Like that series, I know that they were up 3-0. 1 Stanley Cup and 4-1 over the Senators.
Yeah, I was about to say that was definitely.
That was,
it was 5 games.
My bad on the number of games. 2008, Filk.
2008 was Detroit over Pittsburgh, and that was in 6, I believe, with Henrik Zetterberg winning the Conn Smythe.
And what you remember about that is Marian Hossa being stopped in the last seconds of Game 6 by Chris Osgood.
In Pittsburgh, nonetheless.
In Pittsburgh. Well, you flipped the script on him in 2009, where it was Pittsburgh in 7 over the Red Wings. Marian Hossa was a Red Wing for that run. And the Conn Smythe went to Evgeny Malkin, the first ever Russian to win it.
And he was that Pittsburgh team, funny enough, was the last team. Well, we're going to have a later team that we'll talk about, but they had 2 30-point players on the same postseason roster.
Yeah.
2010 was the Blackhawks over the Flyers. That was in 6 games. The Conn Smythe winner for that was Jonathan Taves.
Correct. I was going to say he's still playing right now.
Yeah.
2011, Bruins over Vancouver in 7 games. Conn Smythe, Tim Thomas.
2013 was Blackhawks over Bruins. That was in 6 games, I believe, and that was Patrick Kane with Conn Smythe.
That was Patrick Kane's. Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get to 2015 in a minute.
Yeah.
Okay, so where we were 13, 14?
Yeah. The one that we don't want to be reminded of.
Wait, did we skip over LA? We skipped over LA.
Oh, that's right. 2011, 2012.
2011, 2012. Because you
that
said
was
the right
yours,
year.
I think.
I knew you said 2013.
No, it was mine. That was supposed to be mine. Yeah. So that would be LA over New Jersey in 6.
But you did say the right year. Let me just say that.
Yeah.
We just forgot the year. Okay. So let's get 2013, 14 out because it's appropriate for me since it's LA in 5 over the Rangers, Justin Williams, Conn Smythe.
And then 2015 would be Chicago over Tampa Bay. That was in 6, I believe, and that was Duncan Keith's Conn Smythe.
Yes, that was in 6, by the way. 2017 would be 2016, I should say. I'm sorry, because I almost screwed it up for us. Pittsburgh Penguins winning their 2nd Stanley Cup. This one was over the San Jose Sharks and Sidney Crosby, Conn Smythe. That was 6 games.
Then we had so we're on 2017 now?
2017, yeah.
Pittsburgh 2nd in a row with against Nashville. That was 6 games, I believe, and the Conn Smythe was Sidney Crosby's 2nd in a row.
I love how you guys don't hold back on your comments on these. 2018, Filk was won on my 40th birthday. That would be the Capitals in 5 over the Vegas Golden Knights. Alexander Ovechkin became the first Russian captain to win the Conn Smythe.
The 2019 was St. Louis over Boston in 7, and that was Ryan O'Reilly with the Conn Smythe.
2020 is the COVID year, so that's Tampa Bay over Dallas in 6 games. It could be 5. But that was Victor Hedman as a Conn Smythe Trophy winner.
Victor, you know what? I think was it Hedman that year? I'm not,
one that was Hedman.
Honestly, I know Hedman won. I think Hedman won one of those, and then no, you're right. It was Hedman that year. Okay. And then the next year, it was Tampa Bay over Montreal, and that was the Vasilevsky Conn Smythe.
Okay, good. So we're on the same page with that one. And that was a 5-game series. So that puts us now 21-22. Avalanche over Lightning and Cale Makar Conn Smythe.
Yeah, and then 2023 was Vegas over Florida. I think that was that 5 games, that series, I think?
Oh, that was 5, yeah.
And the Conn Smythe there.
Oh, you know this one. Come on.
Wasn't Eichel. I know that.
You're right. It wasn't Eichel. Could have made a good argument for Eichel.
It wasn't Aiden Hill, was it?
No.
No.
This guy got hot.
Oh, Jonathan Marchessault.
Jonathan Marchessault.
Yeah, that's right.
And I think
he led the playoffs in goal scoring.
And Mark Stone had a hat trick. He was the first player in like 80 years to have a hat trick in
the game deciding game, right?
In a deciding game. Yeah. And then Sam Reinhart did it last year. That's a different story. So we're 23-24. That's now the Panthers' first Stanley Cup in 7 over the Edmonton Oilers, Connor McDavid, Conn Smythe. And then just last year.
Yeah.
We all know it.
We all know what happened here. So that was Florida over Edmonton again, and that was Brad Marchand with the Conn Smythe, right?
Yeah. See, no, not Brad Marchand. It was Sam Reinhart.
Oh, Sam Reinhart. No, Sam Bennett. Sam Bennett.
Okay. Let's take some more of your questions, guys. We're going to probably give it about another 10 more minutes at the most. Thanks, everybody, for staying with us through technical difficulties and idiocy while filling out the Puckdoku. It was wonderful. Great job that I did there. And I also got to figure out what sushi I am going to get for later. You kind of look back at some of those series that we were talking about. Like, I mean, Vegas kind of did their best. And, you know, after they won game 1, you're thinking, wow, I think they had the Capitals in that. But Braden Holtby stopping Alex Tuck with that paddle save. And after that, it was all Washington.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
Dario's asking right here. I think he's still in the middle of watching the stream or from earlier. If we somehow move on from Igor, who is going to replace him? Garan? Do they trade for Devin Levi?
They're not moving on from him. They're
going to be incapable from moving on from him.
Yeah, I don't think he's waiving anytime soon. If things really bottom out here, maybe at that point he could waive. But I don't think that's something that would happen this year. I think that's a down the road thing. I would imagine that you'd probably would have to look at, and I don't even know what they would look at as a replacement. It's just that maybe you give Garand a shot. Maybe you go just bring in a veteran stopgap until you get a goalie, but just I don't know.
I think the hard part about that, Phil, is you have to find somebody
to eat that contract. I don't know if you can have anybody that'll eat that contract. You're gonna have to retain.
Yeah, that's gonna eat that contract. I'm already reacting to the next question because I kind of mentioned it in the A block, guys. When we talked about this. Laffy needs to walk over to JT Miller and talk to him because JT Miller did everything that Laffy did. And then he's still not getting the message. And maybe this is what happens when you get a guy that you put him on the back burner and he's not really anything in the future plans of the team. But unfortunately, Matt's hit the nail on the head right here. Igor's contract is immovable. Like he's not going to accept the trade to a bottom feeder, and those are the ones that need goalies. They don't have room for him in Edmonton because that is a ton. Sorry, saying Laffy to San Jose to the Sharks for our plus. No, there's a lot more. Don't ever
Ferraro plus. That would be an awful deal for them.
That would be an awful deal. Here's the thing:
to get a depth defenseman like Mario Ferraro back for Lafreniere, all right. So put it this way: Capo Caco got back Will Borgen. He got back Will Borgen, and yes, I know Capo Caco didn't have the deal that Alexis Lafreniere has, but Alexis Lafreniere has been the more productive player.
Yeah, and a lot of people are going to look at him as a change of scenery guy that once he changes, he could take off.
No, I get it, but I do think that the Lafreniere holds more value around the league than someone like Capo Caco. I'm sorry, but Capo Caco was looked at as a guy that was trending in the wrong direction, like big time. And it wasn't even, you weren't even sure if he was going to be anything more than a third liner. Lafreniere, there's at least some sort of potential that like he goes to the right place and he gets his act together, he could still be a good player. Is he going to be a 90-plus point player that the Rangers hoped when they drafted him? Likely no. But I still see there being a 60 to maybe at best 80-point player there if he gets his act together. And I think that's the problem. I just think this kid is completely unfocused and unmotivated. I don't see it.
Like, there's a lot of history of players that are just in the wrong situation, and then they go to different situations. And one of them that came to mind, Phil, and I had to double check and make sure and look at his numbers with the Montreal Canadiens, was John LeClair. He had 2 19-goal seasons. Really wasn't impressing anybody, wasn't turning any heads. You're like, all right, whatever. He gets traded in the Mark Recchi deal, and boom goes the dynamite. A guy that goes from a 19-goal scorer to 26 in 46 games. So immediately his goal production went up by a lot.
That's what happens when you start playing with a generational talent in Eric Lindros, though.
Well, that's what happens with that. But, I mean, you also find your own potential, too. LeClair was the perfect complement to him. Yeah. And they were the Legion of Doom. His next 3 seasons, 51, 50, 51. And even the 2 40-goal seasons after that in the dead puck era. Like, this guy, there's lots of guys that they're just in the wrong situation. I mean, hell, Phil Esposito was another one.
I think LeClair is different, though, because power forwards usually take a lot longer to develop.
Yes.
And I think LeClair when that trade happened, he was in his age 25 season. So that was the perfect time. And he had 5 points in 9 games before he got traded. Only 1 goal. But, I mean, he went from playing with, I mean, that Montreal 95 roster was not exactly a productive roster. I mean, Recchi ended up having 43 points in 39 games with them, but Vinny Danfus had 40 and 48. And then, you want to know who their number 3 scorer was?
In what, 93?
94, 95.
94, 95. Vincent Danfus?
No, I already said he was their number 2.
Oh, sorry, Rat. Number three. Dion?
Good guess, but no.
Yeah. Patrice Brisebois?
No, he was their number 10.
Yeah. I'm blanking. Who?
Benoit Brunet.
Oof.
25 points. To be fair, Pierre Turgeon had 11 goals and 20 points in only 15 games for them after his trade. Kirk Muller had 19 in only 33 games before the trade.
Yeah, I had the wrong year in my head.
Yeah. So, but it's still there were 2 drastically different teams. Philadelphia was on the up and up, and Montreal was clearly needing a rebuild after that veteran late in '93 team won the cup.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at the guys that were on that team, the real main contributors, their core guys were all older. They were all older. I mean, Vinny Danfus was 20. Danfus and Muller were relatively young, 25, 26. Brian Bellows was 28. Stéphane Lebeau had an 80-point season, and he was 24. Keane was 20. Dennis Savard was 31, though. This was actually a younger team than I thought. Wow, I was absolutely wrong about this.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Like you just said, Dennis Savard was 31. That blew my mind.
He was only 31. Well, he played until like the late 90s, Savard. He only played 63 games with them that year and a half.
Which I haven't been able to use any of these yet. That literally blew my mind.
Yeah, his last year was with Chicago in 96, 97, and he had 27 points in 64 games. I mean, he went to Tampa Bay the next year, 93, 94, was there until Chicago traded for him in the 94, 95 season. He had a little bit of a resurgence there, but he still just was not the same player.
No.
Yeah, thank God we didn't wait for Anthony. We've been waiting for a while.
Yeah, no, thankfully. Although he's missed. I am going to start the music right now, boys.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, 2.5 hours.
Yeah, no, well, we want an extra half an hour. We're trying to keep these a little bit shorter now. We do, guys. We could sit here all day and talk to you forever because we need to start shortening these up a little bit. Because I know somebody that does post production who needs these a little bit shorter.
Yes.
Anthony had a great soundbite. I gotta watch it again and get it. About shuffling the deck chairs to the Titanic. Probably about whether or not the Rangers should rebuild. I enjoyed the video where basically that I went off last week calling out the Rangers, but they need this team is fooling nobody, and that's why I think your byline this week.
That's not happening. Montreal's not doing that.
No, and I don't know if Jeff Gorton is into trading with Chris Drury.
Yeah, that's definitely not happening.
By the way, everybody get your comments in right now.
I mean, Slavkovsky's kind of been disappointing for a number 1 overall pick, but I I don't see. I just don't see it. Would I take him for Lafreniere? Sure. Does it make sense? Yes. I just don't see Montreal doing that. I think Mark's onto something with the whole Gordon / Hughes. They don't want to deal with the Rangers.
No, because they're gonna try to avoid them, and they don't need them anyway. So that's
no. I think if Slavkovsky gets made available, I think there's a bunch of teams that would line up to trade for him. Yeah. You got a big kid like that that's like 6'5" or maybe 6'4", 6'5", something like that. And he could skate and he has some talent. Yeah, I think there are going to be teams that will line up to try to take a chance on him and try to, figure him out and really kind of turn him in, fine-tune him into a more physical player and see if they can get the most out of him.
Yeah. And by the way, there aren't many one-for-one trades anymore. Like, you're not going to see the Danny Heatley for Marian Hossa. Like, as far as, like, big-time players. So I don't think that would work one-for-one. I think also the fact that Lafreniere is signed is still a huge asset Ranger fans keep forgetting. Because should he blossom, he's guaranteed money. There's their risk because you're paying him that money, but you know that taking him on. The reward is if he blossoms and becomes a $10 million player, he's only making 7.7. Matt said it right here. The Steve Can't Fool Me. They showed the true colors last year. They're putting on the city and their fans, and I agree with them 100%.
Yeah.
The reason why the core has to be changed.
Yeah, I mean, you have to get rid of everybody that was a part of that team. Like, the toxicity is still there. You ask me, I think you have to get rid of everybody from that. And
there's only one player from that team, one skater from that team I would keep.
Adam Fox.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, as far as the rest of it goes, like I said, I mean, it said in the thumbnail, guys, that it's home had a 0 on it. That wasn't an O. That was a 0. They don't play well at home. And this system doesn't work for Artemi Panarin. But it worked for Phil Kessel. It can't work for Artemi Panarin.
Well, I mean, Phil Kessel is a great skater. He was also, I mean, that HBK line in 2016 in that playoff run, they were one of the best lines I've seen in a playoff run in a while. That line was incredible, and they were a third line just feasting on teams.
Yeah.
I mean, you had Phil Kessel running that line with Carl Hagelin and Nick Bonino, and obviously Hagelin's a speed burner himself, one of the faster players in the NHL over the last, since the salary cap was instituted. But I mean, that's somebody that just, it worked. Nick Bonino was
fully as part of that core.
Yeah, I could keep him as a third line piece. I just wouldn't expect him to be a 25 to 30 goal scorer anymore. That's a 50-point guy. I think he might just be a guy that gives you 20, 20, 40 on a third line, and that's okay.
Well, let's see what he's like when he actually has a playmaking center.
Yeah, you know what, though? He's played with Zibanejad and he's played with Miller, and he hasn't really been able to produce.
I don't think they're playmaking centers. I don't.
Fair.
I don't think they are.
But I think if you're talented enough, I think you should still be able to produce somewhat. Like, okay. I'm not saying everybody has to be Pavel Bure, or you're playing with Murray friggin' Craven, no offense, and you're still scoring 60 goals and 110 points. Like, that's – or Trevor Linden or Cliff Ronning, again, no knocks at those guys. Or even more crazy example, the fact that he contributed on 29% of the 99-2000 Panthers goals and didn't win the MVP that year, and he dragged them into the playoffs while playing with Victor Kozlov. Again, no offense to Victor Kozlov, talented player, but, I mean, think about it. Like, you ask a casual fan if they know who Victor Kozlov is, nobody's going to know.
No.
Same with Linden. Same with Ronning. And not many people are going to know who Murray Craven was.
I think the more shocking thing about Victor Kozlov that I learned last week is that he never scored 30 goals in a season.
No.
And he had 5 in one game.
No, it was 4.
4 in one game.
Yeah, it was against the Rangers.
Yeah, with the Islanders.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, guys, we're going to call it a show right there. And look, it's bleak right now, and the only thing you can hope for, pick a direction. And by the way, the direction is going to be they're going to get bleaker. All credit to Mike Sullivan for what he's done with the Rangers. I mean, even a little bit for Patrick Waugh. I don't see Patrick Waugh being there forever with the Islanders. But we will talk to you guys again next week, or unless a huge news breaks. And who knows? By then, the Rangers might have won a game at home.
Yeah, right.
Not bloody likely. They got 2 cracks at it this week. Phil, last word. Do the Rangers win a game at MSG before our next show?
No.
So they lose to the Predators.
Would that shock you?
No.
There you go.
That's why I got to agree with you on that one. All right. Take it easy, everybody. We will talk to you soon.